Mission First Tactical is the official tactical accessories provider for the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for an exclusive 20% discount on all orders.
All right, lead heads. Welcome back to, what is this, Ton?
This is the Airgun episode
Of what?
the Talking Lead podcast.
There you go.
God.
In case somebody found us by accident and they didn't know what the hell they were listening to, this is the Talking Lead podcast, and we appreciate you tuning in either by accident, oops,
Yeah,
or
now you're dropping crap.
because you are a loyal listener. You are part of the Leadhead Brigade, and we greatly appreciate all the years that you have tuned in to listen to our shenanigans. And I don't think this episode is going to be any different. I think we're going to have some shenanigans ensue here because we are going to do the jackwagon train this episode. It's going to be fun, but the main topic, our airgun topic, I think we're really going to learn a lot. We've talked about them in the past. We haven't really talked that much, so we're kind of go a little different direction here. So joining me this episode, you just heard him, ladies and gentlemen, from Texas, Firebird Targets, Ton Jones, ladies and gentlemen.
What is happening? I don't know why my audio is so bad.
Now it's worse.
Oh, yeah, way worse.
Yeah, what did you do?
I do not know.
Is that your
You're
headset?
not,
No.
tap your microphone. Tap your headset microphone. Nothing there. So something on your. So while Ton unfucks himself, we'll go to our other guest here. So joining us from, is it North Carolina or South Carolina, Coop?
North Carolina.
North Carolina, because I got people from all over the place here. North Carolina, with the Reasons Outdoors, ladies and gentlemen, it's Ryan Cooperus, the Coop. Cooperus?
Cooperus, yeah.
Is that like Sicilian? What is that?
No, it's Dutch.
It's Dutch.
Yeah.
Welcome in, Coop.
Thanks for having me.
That's why they call you Coop instead of trying to pronounce your last name.
You got it. 100%.
Cooperus. Why didn't you correct me the first episode?
I did, but
I didn't.
Yeah, it happens
Must
often.
have had audio like Zane had. Where you're cutting in and out. And then also back for another dose of punishment, ladies and gentlemen, with Pyramid Air. We've got Tyler Patner.
Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
Appreciate you taking the time to join us and get us educated on air guns this episode.
We'll see what we can do. No
Get
promise.
more educated. And Tyler, did you fix yourself? Now you're like completely. There's no volume whatsoever. I mean, it never fails. We have some sort of audio, video issue every single episode without fail. But yeah, like I said, we're going to talk air guns this episode. It's going to be fun. I've actually got one sent to me. I ordered a Texan Air Force air guns, and Tyler and Ton are going to help me put that together today. As you can see, I've got my little makeshift workbench back here, so that should be fun. If not entertaining, we'll have
not too much work involved. I think you'll be all right.
Yeah. But if you didn't get a chance, make sure you go back to the previous episode. That was our season finale of the Talking Lead AK Corner, where we did the epic AK versus AR episode. So we had Team AR versus Team AK, and we had a full house that episode. We had at least 12 people. Had so many people, I had to put people in the lobby and switch them in and out. But we gave away a lot of great prizes that episode. We gave away 2 suppressors. We gave away a full AR furniture build kit from Mission First Tactical. Gave an AK furniture build kit from B5 Systems. We gave away some iPro. We gave away Seal 1, a nice package of Seal 1. And we gave away some Firebird targets. And what else did we give away? There was a lot. A lot of prizes, a lot of participation. And then also on that episode, I was wanted Ton to come back before I did this, but I guess he's still having issues. And for those who listened to that episode and are longtime lead heads, we got some sad news. Our good buddy who was on that episode, James Balchek, with Factory 47, Mon Tactical, Freedom Stencils, passed away last week. He had a tragic paragliding. Is that the one with the propeller on the back? Accident. So he's a great dude, really good friend, a good friend of the show, longtime lead head. For our longtime listeners, on the AK Corner, he was on that several episodes. And I mean, he knew his shit. He was a wealth of knowledge, very smart guy, entrepreneur, with the 3 companies that he had running there. He was in the process of starting a media production company as well. We were actually in talks together on doing some things. So he's going to be sorely missed. He was a fellow alumni of Tactical Response. So the guy knew his guns. He knew his training. He's a former military guy. Super great dude, James Balchak. You guys can you can go to his. I think his parents may have posted something over the week. So I got some messages from some of you lead heads, but I'd already known about it. And if I didn't respond to you, I mean that's just kind of the thing. I wanted to just let his family deal with it first and make the announcement before I said anything. But he was a great guy. He'd be sorely missed. But what you guys can do if you're interested, and I don't know exactly how they're going to take over his businesses, but the stencil company I know is running. I think his parents buy some of their stencils at Freedom Stencils. The Factory 47, I'm not sure as to its future. And those who won the prizes from the previous episode, I mean, obviously, I'm not going to pester his parents or anybody, on getting you that swag. So we'll try to come up with something else for you. We had 2 people that won those prizes. I do believe you've emailed me, so I will email you back, and we'll come up with some alternatives for you on that. But if you can go and support the Freedom Stencils, go by. They got some really cool stencils there. Go check them out, and then I'll let you know what the future of the Factory 47 is. And then you guys can go and buy the shirts, the hoodies, the tumblers. I don't have my tumbler here, but that's how you guys can go and support James and his family. So sorely missed, as is Ton right now. He's still not there. Let's see has he texted anybody? No. He had a box of Nilla wafers, so he may just be enjoying his Nilla wafers right now. Well, waiting on us. But Coop, the Reason Outdoors. Tell everybody who's not familiar with what you guys do for our veteran men and women.
So the Reason Outdoors, we take veterans, first responders, and their kids on ecotherapy trips. So ecotherapy, hunting, fishing, outdoor adventures. We're in our
one of
second.
The greatest taglines ever. I love that.
Oh yeah. It's good. Yeah. Ecotherapy, getting, healing our country's heroes and their families, through outdoor adventures. So that's what the Reason Outdoor does. You can find us at thereasonoutdoors.org or on Instagram on _reason_outdoors_ and Facebook under the Reason Outdoors. So,
and I'm pulling it up right now for our viewers. That's the website right there. Now you guys just you had a raffle And we talked about it on the show. Did you sell all those raffle tickets? You got all those sold for the it was a SIG or something like that you were giving away, right?
Tonight, the raffle ends for the Springfield St. Edge and Swarovski binos and a couple Ecotherapy t-shirts. So we got, I think we're at 182 out of 200. So,
okay.
That's not too bad.
Odds are good. I mean, the odds were good at 200.
Yeah. Try to keep it smaller and, second, third, fourth place prizes there. So get people more intrigued.
Well, I got my tickets, so I'm hoping,
We'll see what happens.
Got my fingers crossed. I used an alias, so.
That's the best way to go about it.
You pull it, you may not recognize what's going on with me. Tyler, with Pyramid, you got SHOT Show coming up. That's one of the big, I guess even for the airgun industry, that's one of the big shows where you guys are going to release the latest and greatest, all the airgun companies. What do you guys do there? Do you have a booth set up there?
So we don't have a booth as a retailer. We're there covering the show, more so in terms of getting YouTube content, making sure that we're talking to all the manufacturers and suppliers about what's new. And then obviously getting that information out to the general public. That's kind of what we're there for. Although, one of our sister companies, Air Venturi, is there as a supplier. So they have a booth and everything. So that'll be where I spend probably most of my time.
Now, as a retailer, is this a show for you guys to do your buying for the year as well, or is that through the Venturi guys? Do you have a?
Yeah, so we don't do our. I guess I think that the buying at the show thing is probably more of a smaller mom and pop shop deal than what we do. We're buying pretty consistently from most of our suppliers, so it's a little bit difficult to plan the entire year, not knowing what demand is, especially with all the. We've expanded into a bunch of new categories this year, including firearms ammo and some other stuff as well. And so it's a little bit challenging or tricky to buy at one time for the entire year. So we're more actively, I guess, involved, more hands-on with most of our suppliers in terms of creating that contact or touch point. So it's more just looking at the new products and getting a face-to-face with some of those guys like buyers and and some of the salespeople that we deal with at each of our different partners. So it's a lot of meetings. It's not. People have this misconception about SHOT Show that it's a great time, and it's a great time if you're there just covering the event. But if you're sitting in meetings all day, not so much fun.
Yeah.
You are correct.
Yeah.
Shit show is what it is. Yeah.
Yes. Well, yeah. And then there's the fact that it's in Vegas. So, it's like you spend all day on your feet, maybe sitting down for an hour or two in a meeting or something. And then you usually go eat dinner right after. And then
well, it has a purpose. It serves a purpose. And it was a buy show to begin with is how it started. And it just kind of grew and grew. And it kind of developed its own purpose, I guess, outside of just a buy show. So, they got the huge range day that they set up. And then, the media, it's turned into a media fiasco where most of these buy shows media don't go.
Right.
There's one in Nashville that happens prior to SHOT Shows called Big Rock. And, I go to that just because it's here in Nashville. So it's close and, I get to go see a lot of the people I know and friends, but it's not something that, I actually do interviews at or, any of sometimes the new releases, they'll release stuff there that they're going to do at SHOT Show. So it's a good show because it happens just right before SHOT Show. So that's the reason I like going to that show and checking it out. But it's like a mini SHOT Show because they've got the fishing and the outdoor, the hunting and the camping and, all that stuff there. So it's a good show. So if anybody's in town and available, I don't know if they let the general public into that or not, but that's a good show, good fun show to go to. Big Rock, downtown Nashville. Who doesn't like downtown Nashville?
To that.
It's a good time.
This guy.
As far as big cities go, Nashville's not too bad.
Right.
It's not, but just that Broadway area right there is just it's a cluster. But if you can get outside that and get to some of the restaurants and honky tonks and things that are outside that, that's what I recommend you do. Don't do the tourist, trap. I guess you call it trap. But if you've never experienced, then yeah, I mean, you should go experience it for yourself at least once, just so you know. That's all I'll say about that. Now, Cooper, are you going to SHOT Show?
Yes, we are.
You're going to be there? Are you guys going to have a booth, or are you going to be walking around?
We're going to be walking around.
Okay. You don't have like a home station that you guys might be operating out of or anything like that?
Yeah, we'll be operating out of Rapid Air Works and Air Force air guns. So we'll be home station there. And probably over a ton over at Firebird. Out of those two places where we'll be mainly hanging out. But
yeah, I don't think Firebird's got a booth. I don't think they're doing a booth.
They did last year. Yeah, they're downstairs, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I didn't know if they'd sprung for that again this year or not. We were going to talk about it with Ton, but let me text him real quick, find out where he's at.
Link went.
Every day is new. In the early light of dawn, we see clear the possibilities and the opportunities to move forward. Each moment of life builds to craft new memories and new traditions. It's the traditions that teach us, they connect us, and they expand us. For you and I, the most treasured heirlooms are sacred to our families. We pass them down to our children, and they pass them on to theirs. What we build with our hands provides the foundation of our future. From the hunting blind to the competition firing line, Air Force Air Guns is your premier sporting air rifle manufacturer. Texas made and Texas proud, with an Air Force air rifle in your hands, you can rest assured that when the opportunity presents itself, you are ready. Yesterday, today, and tomorrow, we are committed to the future of this sport. Our craftsmanship is unparalleled. Our customer service is unprecedented. We are committed to making the finest air rifles in the world, and our legacy is yours. It is because your passion is our passion. In this life, things move very fast, and as time marches forward, your passion never dies. It is that passion that drives us. With over 2 decades of manufacturing experience, Air Force Air Guns is putting tomorrow's rifles in your hands today. Air Force Air Guns. Air is the future.
Okay. So while we're waiting for Ton, because I know he's chomping at the bits to get to the jackwagon train, we'll kind of put the jackwagon train to the side, and we'll go ahead and start talking our main topic here, air guns. And I think the last time or the first time that we kind of covered this, there was a guy that made an air gun for Lewis and Clark during their expedition. What was his name? Ghirardelli makes chocolate.
Yeah.
I'm just yeah. But he actually wasn't the first. There are several models and things. It's tough to find any like history on the air guns. But the name that I've got here that you guys see here, this Marion Le Bourgeois, there's actually records of him coming up with an air gun prior to the Lewis and Clark expedition. But even prior to that, I mean, an air gun is basically, it's just being able to shoot a projectile with compressed air. And your lungs are compressed air. And when you blow out, then that's compressed air being expelled. So these blowguns that these tribes have used for millennia, have been around, forever. So actually the first air gun are those what do they call them? Blow tubes or
just keep doing that with your hand in front
like that. I wanted to wait for Ton to get on here to do it because I know he would have said something about it. But yeah, the blow darts. Those have been around for forever. Even I think they even supersede the bow and arrow. The blow dart guns. Yeah,
I don't know the history of all that. That's an interesting.
I don't either. We're not historians here. So.
Yeah.
Should have got Marco on here. I bet he knows the history of blow guns too. He knows the history of everything.
I mean, I've seen some crazy stuff get harvested with a blowgun.
Yeah, and people are still using them to this day. There's some high tech blowguns these days. Have you ever used one to hunt with, Coop?
I have not.
You never have?
No, I have not. But I mean, might as well put it on my list of things to use.
I
love anything that flings projectiles.
It would be kind of cool.
Yeah,
they're a lot of fun. Yeah, they're hard to figure out, though, or at least for me, it was a real challenge. Like I was dicking around in a buddy's garage one time. We were playing darts with a blowgun, and it was not going well for me. But if you practice with it a little, you can kind of get the hang of it. I actually watched Ton take a pigeon out of his garage once.
I was gonna say, if anybody has hunted with one, it would be Ton.
Yeah.
You
just gotta know. Don't inhale while you got it to your mouth.
Yeah, that'd be a problem.
Yeah, don't inhale. It's all about the exhale. But even now, there are companies that have come up with air guns that shoot arrows.
Sure. It's a pretty popular little subcategory of the airgun world. Started back in, I want to say 2014 or so is when it got popular again. There were some niche uses of it prior to that, probably dating back to the late 90s or early 2000s, but it really didn't gain any sort of popularity until Crossman Benjamin came out with what they call the airbow. And since then, you've got Air Force up on the screen there with the Talon bolt and the Talon bolt carbine. You've got Umrex with a few, FX has a few, Air Venturi's got their air bolt, which is it's an arrow that you can put into a bunch of different air guns. So there's all sorts of different arrow firing air guns out there. Ton, are you there?
I have no idea.
There you go.
There you can hear me.
Yeah,
now you're working.
What the shit?
There he is.
Yeah.
Like Tyler said, you probably need to unplug something.
No, I just rebooted everything.
Okay. Well, sometimes it just takes a reboot. So. There he is, ladies and gentlemen. He's back. Ton Jones. So, Ton, we went ahead and got started on our main topic. We'll come back to the jack wagons.
Oh, I got plenty of those.
Oh, yeah.
Surprise.
Yeah. Surprise. We're doing it in reverse order today. But we're talking first. We're talking, kind of an exploded quick history, and not really a history of the air guns. And we were explaining my name, this guy, and you seem to know a little bit about Le Bourgeois.
Yes, just a little bit.
Yeah. So
yeah, he. I'm not sure if you guys already touched on it, but he was most famous for inventing the flintlock, and he, from what I remember, was the inventor of one of the very first air guns, and he designed one of the very first air guns that shot a steel dart, which helped me when I was designing the Talon bolt. And actually a pretty cool guy, way before Giordoni. But people don't know much about him. Hey, there's my Talon bolt.
Yeah. Speaking of the Talon bolt. So, I mean, that's kind of cool that how the air gun has evolved from, and Tyler was making fun of me earlier, from the blow tubes.
Oh, here we go.
Using human compressed air to where we are now using artificially compressed air. And I think even one time I was reading about some of the ones in the past, they used those fire stokers.
Yes.
What do they call those?
Yeah.
Bellows?
The bellows.
Bellows. Yeah. They would use bellows to project arrows or
to compress
pellets.
air, get them up. get the pressure up, and then people would take turns, even with the early air rifles, on wagon trips, compressing the air, taking turns pumping these cylinders up because it was a task, hand pumping to get enough pressure to take down a game animal. It wasn't something. It was a quick, oh, let's hand pump these things up. No, it was took a whole team of people. They would take turns hand pumping these air guns up, and then once it got time to take an animal, you had to be a good shot, and if you missed, no one was happy.
And they didn't use them just for hunting; they used them for warfare too.
Oh yeah, it very effective.
I think something like the 15 or 1600s is one of the first documented uses in wartime for air guns. Which, and I read something once, something like during the Napoleonic era, that he had a whole regiment of I guess air gunners that were on the front lines.
Yeah. And the problem that they ran into with those bellows was the material. It would wear out. Well, I think leather was probably the main material that they used for those. And just, that much friction, that much heat that they're putting with the bellows, the leather would wear out. So that was the problem they were running into, just quick attrition through the mechanics that they were using.
Well, they were using leather in brake barrel air guns for the piston seals and stuff, and the breech seals up until the 70s or so. The main problem there being that you have to keep them well lubricated to actually maintain compression, because over time, if it dries out, you're screwed, right? So synthetic materials have obviously changed that game quite a bit, and the advent of synthetic seals is actually why we have more powerful brake barrels today.
Yeah, I think my Silver Streak came with a leather seal.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, that's the one my grandfather got from Sears and Roebuck.
Well, let's talk about that, because that was something I wanted to go around the table and ask everybody. What was your first air gun? Your first BB gun? What was your first one, Coop?
It was one of the Crossman pumps, where you pump it 10 times. You can shoot pellets or BBs. If it was BBs, you could put a whole ton of them in there. If it was pellets, you had to hand load them one at a time. But that was my first air rifle, and also the first thing that I got shot with that went about 2 inches into my skin. So,
yeah, I know. Growing up, my brothers, we would have battles with our BB guns, and they were just the crank Red Ryder one style. Yeah. So they're not breaking the skin, but they leave a nasty welt. But you see us all running all through the neighborhood, because it would be us, and then we get the other neighborhood kids. And I mean, that was a thing. We actually would do that, shoot each other with those BB guns.
Yeah. Our helper. Our helper, I had it staged down in the barn. I had it pumped up 10 times, shooting pigeons off the silo. And I was going up to our other barn to get cows down for milking, and he grabbed it, pumped it one time. He thought it wasn't loaded or whatever, and so that made it 11 pumps. And he went to shoot me in the rear end, and it hit me in the side, and that thing went about 2 inches into my side, and I, started hollering, and he's like, "Oh crap!" And we thought we squeezed it out, and I'm like, I'm not going to snitch him out or anything like that, but. We thought we got it out, and about 2 weeks later, when it all healed up, and all of a sudden there was a BB under the surface of my skin, so I had to go tell my mom and had to go get it cut out. Dude,
did you get in trouble for that? Did you get your ass busted for it?
No, I didn't actually. And I was like, "Hey, look, the guy's name, his nickname was Crotch." I was like, "Hey, Crotch, hit me in the ass with my BB gun and hit me in the side. We thought we squeezed it out, but it's still in there." And she was like, "Gosh, like." Here we go. Back to the doctor.
Damn Dr. Bill.
Yeah.
And back then it was probably like $10 or something is what they charged her, but that's outrageous. That was like.
Well, they could have just had the vet take it out, when he was there checking on the cows, but didn't want to go that route either.
So my first, like I said, was like a lever action. It wasn't a Red Ryder. It wasn't a brand name. It was probably something from JCPenney or or Western Auto, because you could, Western Auto would sell shit back then like that. And it was a hand-me-down. It was my brother's. I had two older brothers, and it was a CO2 pistol. Remember those little CO2 cartridges? But I'm sure they still have it today.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think it was a Crossman, and it was black, and it was cool. And I had it up until about, I don't know, 8 or 9 years ago, and I don't know what happened to it. I can't find it. But I had that thing. I was probably 10, maybe when I got that. Maybe about 10 years old when I got that. I'm 53 now, so I had it all the way up until about 9 years ago, and I wish I could find that thing, but it was cool. But the way that it cocked is the top lifted up like this, and then you cock it back down. I wish I don't have any pistols right now near me, but it was fun. And you had to cock it every time, and you get one pellet, and you boom, and then you got to cock it again to get the bullet in it, and then that tank would last. I don't know,
Those did a pellet or a dart.
Yeah,
I remember those.
I never had the darts, but it was a pellet. We used the pellets that shot out. They're the lead.
Yep, they did a pellet or a dart. I remember those very well.
I mean,
Yeah.
I never shot darts of mine because they're way more expensive, and I just didn't think that anything I shot was actually going to die.
Yeah, I didn't think I could hit anything either.
Yeah,
that would have been the bigger issue. We found we had bought a collection from a local, like a dealer that was closing up shop many years ago, and it took about 3 years to go through all this stuff. There was this old Crossman pistol. I had never heard of it before, but it was a rear spring cocking gun, so it looked like a generic, just a regular pistol. But at the back, it had kind of this tab on it that you'd pull to cock it. And it was like almost like a tap loader where, when you pull it back, it would have a slot in the top that you could drop your projectile into. And one of the things it shot was darts, and it came with a few, but they were all plastic ones. They weren't like the ones with the feather at the back. And that thing went through like 3 boxes with a single dart. And I was like, holy shit, like this.
that's
this is intense.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to get hit with one of those.
I think those are the 1950s Crossman's pistols.
Yeah, so weird.
Yeah,
you just don't see stuff like this anymore.
No, those were back when they're fun.
Yeah.
I was trying to find a picture of the one that I had. I don't see anything similar. I mean, that one's close to it, but it doesn't.
1377. Sure.
It doesn't operate like mine did, where the top lifted up. So it may not have been a Crossman. I don't know. It was probably some off-brand, but the accuracy on those things were for shit, and that's why I never thought that I would be able to kill anything. And then I remember when I was in my backyard, and there was some birds. It was about this time of year, where the birds are migrating, and there was like 3 or 4 birds that were going through, and I was taking my aim. I was like, I'm never going to hit one, and bam. Nailed that mofo. And my parents specifically told me not to shoot at, animals or anything. And I killed that bird, and I was like, that whole day just regretting, because, I told them, I had to tell them, when you're a kid, the guilt that's in you, you got to tell somebody,
You ratted yourself.
I told him, I started crying, try to soften the beating that I was going to get. And luckily, they're like, okay, it's like, it's all right. Don't worry about it. Just don't do it again. And I told her, I was like, I never thought I'd hit it. And sure as shit, and I just, bam, nailed it. What about you, Tom? What was your first one?
I actually got the 20 caliber Benjamin Silver Streak that was handed down. My grandpa bought it from Sears and Roebuck and had given it to my father, and that was the gun that me and my brothers had to practice with before we went hunting. And what we would have to do from when the time we were like 4 or 5 years old. We'd have to go out, and my Pappy Jones would put out old oil cans, and we would have to step off like 5-10 paces, and we'd have to practice with that before we were allowed to go hunting with him. And that's what we practiced with from 4 years old and on. That's the gun right there.
Is it?
Yep. And we had it in 20 cal. And
Yeah,
we
that's
would
a
shoot
cool
with that every day after school until we would get good enough to where he would take us out to the stock tank, and he would take them big marshmallows and toss them out in the water. And with his foot, he would tap in the water, and we'd have to hit the floating marshmallows. And once we could hit the marshmallows, we were allowed to go hunting with him.
Man, that was tough.
Oh, yeah.
Were these the big giant marshmallows? Or
They were the s'mores marshmallows, but still, my grandpappy wasn't nice about it because he wanted to make sure you could shoot. And if you missed, you started over again.
I was gonna say if it's those like little tiny marshmallows, then he was a hard ass. But I mean, if he, you got those larger campfire
Yeah,
marshmallows.
he would take it and chuck it out in the water and sit there with his foot and make waves. And he'd tell you to be patient. He's like, don't squeeze that trigger till you're ready. And if you missed, you'd have to go back and shoot cans again. And you'd learn to be very, very patient because he would tap his foot, then stop. And then right when you get ready to pull the trigger, you'd start tapping his foot again. And then
I bet the accuracy on those things were pretty good, though, weren't they?
it was pretty damn good. It got to the point where we got really good with it. I sent it out to Tim Smith about 2 years ago to get rebuilt, so I can hand it down to my kids.
Cool.
So you still have it?
Yes, I still have it to this day.
Very nice. I wish I still had that one. I can't find it though. Tyler, what about you?
Yeah, much like Coop, I started with a Crossman 760, which is a multi-pump gun. Although I think mine was the Crossman as a company has been bought and sold a bunch of times. So it was back when they were owned by or in cooperation with Coleman, the camping company. So it was a Coleman 760, but same gun, real, not real accurate, but good enough to get the job done at 10 yards or 15 yards, whatever my parents had in their backyard. And it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, I remember some of my neighbors, they had that. I don't think we ever had one of those. We had there was a black one, and it was a pump.
Mm-hmm.
Like that. Is that similar to what this was?
Yeah, so that gun in particular is still made today. But there's like a Remington 77 that would have been all black. There's a Daisy 880 that was also sold in a all black.
Daisy, I think that's the one. Yeah. That's
the interesting thing from an industry standpoint is actually earlier this year, Crossman and Benjamin were acquired by Gammo Daisy, which is so Gammo and Daisy are, I guess, mutually owned, and now Crossman is under that banner as well. So that's kind of it sends some ripples through the industry, which is interesting.
Is that American owned now or not?
So Daisy is an American company, although most of the products are made in overseas in Taiwan or China. But Gammo is a Spanish company. They have some products that are also made in the UK, in addition to Spain. And then Crossman was actually based here in the US. And I believe they still are keeping, for now, some of the company operational in New York, which is where it was based out of. But I think they're in process of moving most of it down to Arkansas, which is where Daisy is headquartered at.
Yeah, Daisy. I remember them. Yeah, that's what we had. See, that's probably what we had. We probably had a Daisy lever action like
a Red Ryder. Yep.
Yeah, I think that's what we had was Daisy, because a little small town, little podunk town. We had like Dollar General stores. We had Western Auto. I don't think Walmart was around back then. Maybe at some point, maybe Walmart came up, but no, I mean, that's kind of what we grew up on. And then to where they've evolved today, to where you're shooting a 50 caliber actual bullet from one of these things and being able to take down Cape Buffalo it's just it's just mind-boggling, the maturation that the air gun has gone through.
It's weird though if you think about it. Everybody or most people are familiar with the Ghirardelli, and that gun's like I think they made them in a bunch of calibers, but anywhere from like 36 caliber up to 44 is at least what I'm familiar with. And you look at modern big bore air guns, and most modern big bore air guns are actually, in my opinion, less interesting than the Ghirardelli. Because most of them are single shot, and those were multi shots back then. Yes. So they had this little like lever tap loading system that was really neat. But those were PCPs by modern standards. That big tank at the back is a big brass tank. And I think
basically the stock was the tank, right?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Much like an Air Force gun. You're talking about like 800 PSI though. So it functions at a much lower pressure than a modern PCP does. And obviously less powerful as a result, but still, I mean, if you were, Lewis and Clark, or, if you've read anything about that gun, a lot of what they used it for was just scaring the crap out of these Native American tribes when they'd arrive. Just they demonstrate it and make sure that they didn't see them having to pump it a bunch of times to fill it, and just, rifle off a few rounds really quick just to send that message, like, don't mess around. It's very much a fuck around, find out situation.
Yeah.
We will rapidly take you out.
Yeah.
And said something about it had a bayonet mount on it also.
I'm sure.
But yeah, so I mean, it looks like a flintlock. It's like a flintlock gun.
And then on that right-hand side, there's a shot tube. I want to say the gun they carried could hold up to 22 rounds. Mm-hmm. Now, you don't know if it could fire all 22 rounds on a single tank of air. Obviously, the power is going to get less and less and less as you shoot it. But nonetheless, it's like a super interesting system that I've seen like one or two recreations of it, which are pretty neat, but nobody's really done it in mass or attempted to kind of bring some of those features back, I guess, to the market, which is okay. Because to be fair, you look at like an Air Force Texan, and those things are putting out like 800 foot-pounds of energy and 50 cal. So, I'll take the power for sure.
But even today, people recreate old muskets and, things like that, because it's, it's a collector's kind of market. So I think if somebody did come out with one of those, then I think there's a market for them. Definitely.
Oh yeah.
Now, how would they refill these tanks? Were those using the bellows?
Hand pump. It's like a bicycle pump.
Yeah, but like a legitimate bicycle pump. So currently pumps are usually 4 stages, 3 or 4 stages internally. So you can get up to those higher pressures at 3,000 or even 4,500 PSI in some cases. But the pump they were using to fill this thing really, I think 800, 900 PSI, somewhere in there. But those tanks just screwed on and screwed off, was my understanding.
Gotcha.
It's not like you can go to the NRA museum and actually touch it, to keep that behind glass. So,
right.
I'm sure that thing's worth a pretty penny.
Yeah, some of them have sold at auction for quite a lot of money, like tens of thousands of dollars.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Is that the one they have in the museum? Is that the original Lewis and Clark one, or?
I believe that's what they're claiming. I don't know how unless it had like a name engraved on it or something. I don't know how you'd really corroborate that.
If they've got the paperwork, the paper trail for it, maybe.
Yeah, probably. I think it originally belonged to Dr. Beeman, Robert Beeman. So many people will be familiar with Beeman air guns as kind of a name in the higher end break barrel space from like the 80s and 90s. He had a collection that was he recently auctioned for a shit ton. Yeah, he just had everything. The only person I know of that rivals his collection is John McCaslin down at Air Force Air Guns. He's got a lot of fun stuff too. So yeah, there are a handful of collectors that hold a bunch of interesting things. But yeah, that Ghirardelli, I believe, was taken out of the Beeman collection and either donated to the NRA or something like that.
That one I think sold for $99,000.
What?
Really?
Yeah. That one sold at I think that one sold at $99,000.
It's wild.
Wow.
The one that's at the NRA museum?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I mean, I get it. I mean, it's
because the Rock Island that I watched, one of the other Giordonis that sold that wasn't theirs. It sold for 55,000, and then some of the others are sold between 3 and 5,000. But the two biggest ones was 55 was one of them, and 99 was the actual. Yeah.
wow.
Dang,
Yeah. I was like, I want
that's crazy.
to check this out. Oh, I'm just going to sit here and keep my hands
I'm
tucked
not-
and sit on them really, really tight.
I'm not
and
even going to breathe
twitch.
on that thing.
I'm like, we're not going to move.
Yeah. I guess they probably don't shoot that one. It probably, like
Yeah.
Tyler said, it probably stays locked up.
Yes.
That was a bad day to get a better number. I was like, nope.
So, with the bolt guns that are out now, I mean, they seem to be becoming more and more popular. More and more states are adopting the use of them. You know, given permission to use them. I think in Tennessee we can hunt with those.
Well, there's an easy way to find out.
That's true. Ton brings up a good point. We have a hunting map on our website that'll tell you. We keep it as up to date as we can. It'll tell you what you can hunt, what kind of maybe specifications you might need on a gun for a given game animal. If your state has some restrictions or caliber requirements, things like that. It has as much information as we can get from the state reps and then through the Airgun Sporting Association as well.
Yeah, so here it is. You guys have a lot of good useful information. You got the hunting maps, you got an airgun calculator for ballistics, care and maintenance, build your own airgun.
Click on that hunting map.
Okay, let's click on that.
Click on Tennessee.
Tennessee.
Scroll down.
Approved
There you
species for airgun hunting in armadillo. And it's a specific caliber you have to use, right? Or smaller.
Some states are weird. Yeah, they'll say, any airgun 22 caliber and larger. Or some of them are even 177 and 22 caliber only, which makes no sense to me. But why not go bigger if you can? But
25 seems to be the smallest, or smaller. It says on armadillo, so 0.25 or smaller. See if any say bigger. Or
well, most of your larger game, I think Tennessee would be 35 or 45.
35 cal. Yes. Click on whitetail. Down at whitetail deer, it says 35 cal or larger.
And larger. PCP only, including arrow shooting air guns. So, talk about what PCP means.
It stands for pre-charged pneumatic, basically meaning that the gun has a storage tank on it or cylinder that you have to fill from an external source. So meaning you pre-charge it, and then the gun functions like any other pneumatic, whether it be a pump or whatever, to fire the projectile. So it's got a valve inside of it that, when you cock the gun, usually you're cocking back a hammer. If you think about a revolver, it's a function similarly, just everything's inside of the gun. So that hammer hits a valve, opens it, air flows out, and then behind the projectile and pushes it on downrange.
And what are the other categories?
So there are PCPs, there are multi-pump pneumatics like the Crossman 760 we were talking about. You have single stroke pneumatics, which are just a single pump. Those are typically target guns. And then you have CO2, which is the little cylinders you were referencing earlier. They look like this, little 12-gram CO2 cartridge. And then you have spring and gas piston guns, which are typically break barrels, although they're made in a few other styles.
Now, the CO2 canister that you've got there, do they come in other sizes, or is that because that's the only size I've ever seen them in? Yeah,
so 12 gram is the most popular for air gun use. There are some older guns that use 8-gram CO2 cartridges, which are like a little smaller than that, I guess. They're kind of obscure now, mostly used for CO2 compression for the beverage industry is actually where you see them used the most now. But then there are obviously some air guns function off of bulk sources of CO2. So like your 12, 20 ounce bottles, like you'd use for a paintball gun. Some of the air guns actually function off those as well.
Okay, gotcha. Now, what's the cost on those? I remember when I was younger. I mean, back then, I mean, it wasn't much, but it was still expensive.
Yeah.
Because that was something that my parents thought, we were like, all right, here's your monthly supply of CO2, make it last.
Yep. Yeah. Well, these are they come in, you can 5, 20, 6, 12, anywhere in between. Usually about $6 for 5 of them, somewhere in that ballpark. And then obviously the more you buy, the less you spend per cartridge. But they're, depending on the gun, this little thing on like a CO2 pistol, like this Springfield Hellcat, for example, it's like 80 or 90 shots. So you do get a fair amount of shots out of most of the guns.
Yeah. Those canisters, again, hold that up.
Yeah.
Are those recyclable? What do you do with it? What are you supposed to do with those when you empty them?
I believe you recycle them. I don't know. I just throw them in a bin and then somebody does something with the bin here. Let me read. I don't know if you can recycle these actually. I think the material can be recycled, but I feel like because of the CO2 that's inside of it, you may not be able to.
Yeah. It's not like you can refill it.
No. These are single use. Yeah. Some of the, like a 12 or a 20 ounce bottle, you can refill.
Oh, they do. So they do make refillable ones.
Yeah. Just like if you ever played paintball, they're exactly the same as those bottles. So there's a little valve on the end that you can.
Well, I don't know anything about paintball guns either. So.
Okay. Well, I'm sure somebody out there does, but
I'm sure some of our listeners do, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't have a CO2 tank handy, but it's a big bottle. You can actually buy them at a lot of sporting goods stores still to this day if they sell paintball.
Maybe that should be another episode. Maybe we should do a paintball episode too. Now, Pyramid, you guys, you do paintball guns too, don't you?
We do sell some paintball guns. Yeah, it's not a big part of our business, but yeah, we've for quite a while. Yeah, we sell some replica guns that can be used for like force-on-force training. Umarex is a big player in that space. They have a T4E line of guns that are, they have a Glock, a Walther, a couple other variations of it that shoot the little 43 caliber paintballs. So most paintballs are 68 caliber, but they shoot the smaller ones because you can fit more of them in a magazine. So it's a more realistic size to what a police officer or law enforcement agent would be carrying.
Acro bags embrace the art of blending in with a low-vis, everyday carry bag featuring a dedicated, discreet firearm storage system. Designed to meet the needs of modern commuters and travelers seeking both functionality and security, the Acro 10-liter sling bag offers an array of organizational options in a comfortable platform. Whether you're a daily commuter, law enforcement professional, or a weekend warrior, this sling bag caters to your lifestyle with utmost precision. The dedicated, discreet concealed firearm compartment is ambidextrous with quick access. An MFT multi-mount platform is included, offering the ability to mount a holstered firearm or other 1.5-inch belt clip accessories, with custom orientation, utilizing a hook and loop system. Cooling, quilted back padding increases comfort for extended use. The Acro series is constructed from durable materials that are designed to withstand the elements and rugged environments.
Mission First Tactical is the official tactical accessories provider for the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code LEADHEAD for an exclusive 20% discount on all orders.
That grease gun's badass.
Yeah, those are a lot of fun.
Is that a auto?
Yep. Yeah, that's the other great thing about the airgun space is that full auto is still readily available and accessible. And CO2 is where most of those full auto guns lie. You have replica stuff like the grease gun, or if you want like a Tommy gun, that's out there. Although I don't think we can technically call it a Tommy gun, but that's a whole other. Somebody has that licensed or some garbage like that. But if you want it like an AR or AK platform, Crossman makes a bunch of those as well. There's all sorts of stuff out there.
Now with the autos, full auto, some people will call it, is there any sort of licensing or regulations? Can anybody get?
Yes, anybody could buy it. And there are no restrictions or requirements on them at all. There's a handful of states that have airgun restrictions in general. Like Illinois is a good example, and I only use it because I'm originally from there, so I'm very familiar with it. They have a weird restriction, basically, that if it's 17 caliber or smaller, which is actually 18 caliber or smaller, you can buy anything you want. Or if the gun shoots under like 700 feet per second. So either or, meaning if you have a 22 cal that shoots at 900 feet per second, you have to go get a FOID card, which is their licensing system in Illinois, and you have to file a 4473, fill that out when you're at the store, which is a whole crock of shit. But the funny thing about that is that, some 50 caliber air guns or 45 caliber air guns shoot slower than 700 feet per second. And because that law is worded with an or, not an and or, you can actually get a certain 45 or 50 caliber air gun shipped directly to your door with no 4473 in the state of Illinois, where you couldn't get something that's much smaller and much less powerful shipped directly to you. It makes no sense. Just another instance where lawmakers have no
clue what they're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, do you have that on your website too?
We do. Yeah. We have a whole shipping restrictions document because you can't ship an air gun to the 5 boroughs in New York. New Jersey's fairly restrictive on what you can send there. They don't like anything with a suppressor on it, or even if it's integral to the gun. California's got some weird stuff with airsoft guns and some other stuff, obviously. And then there's weird city-based restrictions, like Johnson City, Tennessee is a weird thing, I think, if I'm remembering correctly. There's all sorts of
really Johnson City. That's weird.
I think it's Johnson City. Yeah. Again, if you have questions about it, not you specifically, but a customer.
I do have questions.
Yeah.
Go to the website.
But you can go to the website. It'll tell you. And
that's why I got Tyler on the show.
That's fair. Yeah. I just can't look. I've taken so much air gun stuff that I have to push some of it out, so I don't quite remember as much as I used to.
It's that old saying where you've forgotten more than we know.
I have been accused of that once or twice.
That's why some people ask me, they're all, well, I have a question about an air gun. I said, call Tyler. I got a Tyler. I don't need to remember.
Now, air guns are huge in Europe.
Yes.
They're probably more popular. I don't know by volume because the countries are smaller, I guess. But yeah, because most of those countries can't have firearms, so air guns are kind of where they all.
And they haven't had for a while, and they've resorted to air guns. And would you say it's a fair assessment that a lot of the technology and the advancement of the air guns has come from Europe?
Not really. I guess if you think about it from the perspective that a lot of the companies are based there, like some of the higher end companies that are pushing new technologies, sure. But a lot of those things are actually developed with the American market in mind. So sure, you could say it that way, but I don't know if it's exactly.
I'm not saying that. I've just heard it said.
Yeah, so I would say that the European market probably pushes more of the high end air gun scene than we see over here in the U.S. But to think that those markets are the reason for those innovations or technology advancements would be, in my opinion, not correct.
No, they try to come over here and develop it,
right,
and then go back there to put it together to ship it back here.
Gotcha.
Oh, I suppose that's a good way to look at it. Yeah. It's one of those things where if you wanted to make a really powerful air gun, it's much easier to scale that power level down than it is to go up. Right. So if I can make a 22 caliber pre-charged pneumatic gun that shoots at, let's say, 30 foot-pounds of energy, that's like an 18 grain pellet at 900 feet a second. Okay. It's way easier to make that same gun shoot that same 18 grain pellet at 500 feet a second than it is to make it shoot at 1200 feet a second.
Yeah, been there.
So that's where, we will see things in the U.S. before other places in the world that have restrictions see those same things.
Right, because of the restrictions, that's why they're coming here and doing that. I mean, even on the air guns, they have strict restrictions in a lot of those European countries. Now, as far as the manufacturing goes, what's being manufactured here in the United States, air gun wise?
Anymore? So Air Force, obviously, and Raw. That'd be the biggest now, I guess, or maybe not the biggest, but the most notable in my opinion. So Crossman, now that they've shifted some of this stuff, like the Benjamin Marauder, the Benjamin Bulldog, and I think their Crossman Challenger, which is a 10-meter PCP, those are still made here in the U.S., at least for now and to the best of my knowledge. So don't hold me to that. But Air Force and Raw are the biggest name, I suppose, in the space. There's a handful of other smaller manufacturers that are assembling stuff here, but I don't think anybody else is making everything here.
Okay.
Maybe American Air Arms. That would be the only other one. They're so it's considerably smaller, high-end, kind of a boutique PCP manufacturer.
Right. Coop.
Yeah.
You have recently, I say recently, from what I've gathered from our conversation, you've recently got into the air guns, and you've been on some hunts.
Yeah.
Using the. Do you have the Texan? What do you have?
I've got a Rapid Airworks HM1000X, a bunch of those actually, because Raw is it's probably our number one corporate sponsor for the reason. So we use all Rapid Airworks for all of our iguana hunts. So shot iguanas with them, Muscovy ducks, Egyptian geese, all that invasive stuff in Florida. And then what else do we shoot? We may or may not have dispatched a shark with a mini. And
in theory,
squirrels and raccoons and all that stuff. And then I shot a deer 8-pointer with a 457 Air Force. So that was freaking awesome. And I was trying to get a bear with the Texan, but that has not come to fruition yet. So I might be waiting until next year on that one, but that's my goal.
Yeah, I want to go on that one with you. That'll be fun.
That'd
be a good way to break this one in. So I've got an Air Force Airguns Texan, and we're gonna assemble it here on the show. You guys are gonna show me right out of the box. I haven't done anything to it other than take it out of the box. Because I didn't want to jack something up, because I'm notorious for jacking things up. So I wanted to do it the correct way, and I don't read instructions, and I really couldn't find a video that shows you how to do it either.
Yeah, it's on YouTube. I did the video.
You got a video? Okay. Look, nothing came up. So,
yeah, no, but I'm definitely new to air guns, only within the last couple of years, and I really got into it for I do predator control in some very affluent neighborhoods where shooting rifles and suppressors is not the way. So I use air rifles for that. So
here's something that I think is a misconception, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that shooting, and I guess it depends on the caliber and whatnot, shooting an air gun is quieter than shooting a regular gun.
Oh, yeah.
So let's speak to that, because I've heard both ways.
So an air gun can certainly be as loud as some firearms calibers. So like your big bore air guns, for example, are probably a similar decibel level to a 22 long rifle, like a supersonic round, in the 110, 115 decibel ballpark, which is borderline loud. It's not that loud.
Or almost like a half-charge muzzle loader on the
yeah, that's a good way to put it, right? But to think, like, I've never encountered an air gun that's as loud as a AR, right? Like, a 5.56 or 2.23. I've never encountered that. With that said, most of your air guns, like this guy, right, have a shrouded barrel of some sort. So you have integral suppression. The barrel doesn't end right at the end here. The barrel ends somewhere back here, right? So you get, and a lot of these guns inside of the shroud here, there's a baffle stack that acts as a suppressor. So you have internal or integral moderation to keep things relatively quiet. And so most of your modern air guns, PCPs anyway, probably very similar in sound signature to a suppressed.
And to be clear, air guns suppressors do not require a tax stamp or background check or anything like that, correct?
Yeah, this is
Moderator.
air guns themselves don't, and it's a big gray area, which is why they're called moderators. So like I don't work for the ATF. I can't get the ATF to answer me, and I've tried many times. Their position is that while they don't, or at least what they've said to me in the past, is that while they don't regulate air guns, anything that can be put onto a firearm would obviously then fall into their wheelhouse. So air guns typically use non-common threads for moderators.
But an air gun's not a firearm.
But here's the thing though, if you can put anything onto a firearm, then it becomes a problem, right? So if I was to make a moderator that had half 28 threads, let's say, then that could pose a problem, right, for the manufacturer of that thing. In the airgun world, the common thread size is half 20 for most of your small bore air guns. Sure. So again, there's that difference there. If just like what Ton's holding, an impulse air moderator, which is a modular can, and it looks like he's got a Donnie FL there as well.
Oh no, this is my 22 can.
Oh, okay.
And
so that's
tax stamp.
No
tax stamp.
Right hand tax stamp, left hand.
Yep, tax stamp, no tax stamp.
Yep.
So moderator, threads. Silencer.
Moderator, silencer.
Yep.
And the only is the
threads.
The pitch and the threads.
Yep.
But again, until the ATF actually puts something in writing that says, these are not suppressors, and we don't consider them suppressors, and all that stuff. It's a big gray area.
Yeah. But
manufacturers are like the one you just showed, the Integral. Manufacturers are still making those. The 1 ton. But as far as it goes right now, there's no tax stamp or anything like that involved with that.
Correct. And same thing goes for the guns themselves when they have the integral suppression on them. Yeah. So if you have a gun like I just showed you with that shrouded barrel, that does not require
gun use only.
Yeah.
And are they required to put that on there? Or is that just something they voluntarily do just to cover their ass?
Well, I think it's a CYA because again, it's gray area, so they're not technically required to do anything.
Sure. No. Sure. I think it's good that they do that.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Yeah. 100%.
Instead of the government trying to come in and make it mandatory.
A gray area. You know, like they just haven't gotten the time yet to come screw with that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're trying to get the other ones first. Yeah.
Right. Let's keep it. Let's keep it as is. Keep it as is.
Yeah. So and I'm just bringing this up because we're talking silencer suppressors, and maybe the road ahead. Was it Boston where the guy shot the healthcare guy?
Oh yeah. I don't know if it was Boston.
New York City.
Was it New York? Okay. Yeah. I can't remember what it was, but anyway, that jackwagon that assassinated the healthcare guy, he had a pistol with a suppressor on it, and supposedly it was a 3D printed suppressor from what I'm hearing. I mean, I don't know, but I can only see that as 3 steps backward in our progress to trying to get silencers and suppressors taken off the NFA list.
You could have done it with a knife.
I mean,
but that wouldn't have furthered anyone's agenda or anything.
Didn't have to do it at all.
How very UK of you, Ton.
Right?
We could have gone to Australia and used a broken
maybe
beer
I
bottle.
shouldn't have brought that up. It was a topic I shouldn't have brought up.
And the guy held on to the gun, right? Like,
he kept.
We're living in right now. It took him a week and a half to catch the guy, and he still had the gun on him. Like, here, let me keep this just in case.
It's my souvenir.
Ditched his backpack. I mean, with
it's
all
going
the
to end
stuff.
up in the Las Vegas Crime Museum.
Guy's an idiot. He's a fucking bonehead. But that's a good segue, I think, because I want you guys to go through and talk me through putting my Texan together. But before we do that, I think we should just go ahead and talk jack wagons. Let's get our jack wagons out of our system. Take a little break here and vent. So Gunny, bring that train in. It's time for the jack wagon train. And Gun's got a lot. He's got several. He's gonna try to bring it in a little bit and not get so passionate about it.
Do or die, hold 'em high at 8th and I. It is time for the Talking Lead Jack Wagon of the Week, so brace yourself, baby.
There it is. It's coming in hot. Talking Lead Jack Wagon train. And I'm going to kick it off. I'm going to start it off because this is something I've been holding in for a couple of weeks because we didn't do the jack wagon, I don't think, the last regular episode. So, and it's that time of year too, I guess, but it's just any time of the year. It's drivers, people who don't know how to drive, who are just freaking idiots who don't know the rules of the road. And there's turning lanes. There are these things called turning lanes that they have specifically made for if you're going to turn, you get in that lane. All the way in the lane. You don't get half in and half out. It's a full lane to where you pull your whole freaking vehicle into that lane. And they usually give you plenty of time to merge over into that. Instead of waiting, you don't have to wait for those broken lines. Who waits for the broken lines? If you know you're going to turn, go ahead and get over in that lane and just work your way up. Idiots who are like got their ass half in, half out, blocking the flow of traffic in the normal lane are jack wagons, are complete jack wagons. And another jack wagon, I got this today on the way home from Tun's favorite place.
He was out visiting Jim.
Again, even if you don't know you're going to turn and you're like, oh shit, I was supposed to have turned there. Don't fucking slam your brakes on in the middle of two lanes over if you're turning right and wait for everybody to let your ass over. Continue driving up to the next light and then turn and then re-circle back to your turn. Don't slam your brakes on and hold traffic up. Just keep going with the flow of traffic. If you missed your turn, go and do a U-turn, legal U-turn somewhere. Turn around, go to the next light. I hate that too. People that think, oh, I missed my turn. I got to turn right here. Well, you can make that turn. You just have to make it right then. You're still going to get over there. So there's my jack wagons. Just totally frustrating people who don't know how to drive. Ton, I'm going to save you.
Save me to last.
Save you to last. Tyler, you got any jack wagons? It's that time of year. It's that holiday shopping.
I can see it in your face, Tyler. Something stewing deep down inside you.
Yeah, as soon as Lefty
let it out, brother.
He got a particular look on his face. I would agree.
And if you need to do a disclaimer from your company, go ahead. Say these views are Tyler Patner's only.
The views expressed on this podcast are mine and mine alone.
Val, it's because he's with me. Let it. It's all right.
No, I probably don't have many. So I went to see this is going to sound really dumb, maybe. I went to see this a cappella group this weekend. Okay. With a couple friends. All right. As you do. And they were really great. It's called Straight No Chaser. I don't know if you guys heard of them. They got like viral many years ago for doing this like Christmas medley song that
what are they called?
Straight No Chaser. Everything's alcohol themed, which I'm a big fan of. Anyway, good time, good show, but good fucking Lord. Okay. People just need to learn how to walk. All right. Like get to your seat. You know what I mean? And like maybe pay attention when you're walking into and out of a crowded area, right? Look around, make sure if you just are going to be on your phone the whole time that you don't just stop in the middle of a sea of people and get run over and then get indignant about getting run over. Like, fuck you, man. Anyway, That really bothers me.
I got to get back to this acapella.
They really got you in the fields. You busted out indignant. You know what I mean? Like for real.
It's true. It's a constant problem I have. I think I walk too fast. That's probably the issue. That's the face right there. What?
Hold on, my mouse isn't working. So
the sounds of the season, but the familiar songs sound much different thanks to our next guest, the guys from Straight No Chaser. Their latest album, Social Christmasing Deluxe, I love that name, is available to stream starting today, featuring, as an 80s kid, this gets me excited, a song featuring Kenny Loggins. Listen to this. Be strong, I'll be weak. Celebrate me on. That
there's a little taste of Straight No Chaser. Acapella. How did you get into acapella, Tyler?
I can't say I was into it. We do a small friend group of mine. So there's 4 of us. We do cultural activities every year. So somebody gets to select what we go do or see.
Selected acapella.
That was our cultural activity. So last year it was, what was it? What did we go see? I think we went and saw Hamilton in the theater, which was pretty decent. If you're into the theater stuff. I mean, you got to get out there and see stuff and do stuff. So, the holidays, there's always some good opportunities, whether it's like music or something in the arts, which I'm not usually a huge fan of, as Ton knows very well. I listen to angry music and that's about it. So I have to broaden my horizons.
Acapella group. I can't remember what their name is. They're like real big acapella group, Pentatonics or something like that.
Oh, sure. Yeah. They were big on YouTube for a long time. Yeah.
You ever heard of them?
Yeah, sure.
They're amazing.
I think the whole thing's really cool.
Yeah. These people.
The fact that you can make all those noises with just a couple people and no instruments is like kind of wild.
Yeah. Yeah. I just wasn't expecting acapella today on the show. So that's what
sorry. I take things directions. But yeah, no, fuck people that don't know how to walk in a straight line. That's my thing.
I'm down
cool.
with that. Yeah.
How about you? What do you got?
Oh, so since this is an Airgun episode, okay, then I'm going to just
get to the topic. I like it.
I'm sticking to the topic on this one, right? I thought about it, and I talked a ton on the phone. I think I named off like 5 jack wagons, but I only remember like the one I'm about to say. But maybe the other ones will come back. I don't know.
You're trying to remember it or remind you.
Yeah, but so air gunners who are hunters, all right, and who continuously talk about head shooting animals. All right, look. You guys are some fucking jackwagons. Right? And I just got to throw it out there because I'm getting annoyed. I am. Like, stop shooting fruit. Stop just shooting pieces of ballistic gel and then saying, oh, well, look how my penetration is. And look at this. I blew up, the 200th watermelon and orange and a grapefruit, too. That does not replicate an animal, right? Like, you got to understand that whether you have 5 followers on your page or 5 million followers on your page, right? The average hunter and airgun hunter cannot hit a deer in the head at 40 yards, right? And it's so that's just number 1, irresponsible of you. Number 2, it's an unethical shot, right? Because let's say you booger up the shot. Now I got a freaking deer with its jaw hanging off, going around the freaking neighborhood, because more than likely you're doing Reuben hunting, right? Not rural, not urban. Reuben, back a cul-de-sac.
Reuben. That's a good one.
That's my favorite place to hunt big deer anyways, right? But now we got this deer with the jaw hanging off, right? Now it's going to go die a violent death, right? It's unethical. Like, what are we doing here? Sure, I can kill a deer if I hit it in the head with a 22, right, HM1000X. Absolutely I can. It does not mean I should. Right. And as a hunting guide, as a hunter and a conservationist, right, I want my clients to make ethical shots. I want everybody else to make ethical shots. Right. And just advocating this head shooting thing is not the way to do it, right?
I want to know what hunting show they've ever watched that advocated or showed or propelled headshots.
I have a question. Is this attached to specific game being hunted? Because like for small game, I could see it, right? Like, squirrels,
big game.
I get it.
Yeah. So so you're absolutely right on that, right? So let's go big game. All right. Big game.
All right.
Right. So
I mean, even a squirrel, their heads are like this big and their bodies are this big. Why would you headshot
and
a squirrel?
I'm not saying that. I mean, like when you put it out there on your channel, right? And freaking Bill Smith, who just picked up his first air rifle and he's going to hit the woods. And because so-and-so influencer, right, said that I should head shoot a deer at 55 1/4 yards, right? Old freaking Bill's going to go and do that, but he don't know his head from his ass when it comes to an air rifle, what the capabilities are or otherwise. So that's like main jackwagon right there. Like be responsible, people, right? Like know your audience.
And what big game target that you've ever bought to shoot at, whether it's the 3D models or the paper models, ever had the head outlined as one of the vital areas? You ever seen that? No.
No. I mean, is it an off switch? Absolutely it is. But the risk of like having this animal live, right, as a mentally handicapped animal or missing something that it needs to feed itself, right, that's a no-go, right? And I'm not saying like, look, I've had shot critters before, big game, but get a big caliber, a big bore air rifle. Like if you can't kill it by shooting it behind the shoulder, right, because there's all these other variables that are coming in. Buck fever, right? Let's say 140-inch deer comes in. Right, you're going to tell me you're going to ruin that thing's skull by shooting in the head, number one. Number two, he's got pedicles this big with 10 points coming out of it. And that's a big risk. But I can take my 457 and shoot that sucker right behind the shoulder, and it's going about 10 yards if it doesn't just DRT, right? Dead right there, my favorite tracker.
Yep.
Right, so let's just be responsible about it, guys. And let's have this discussion with our audiences, right? Iguanas, you got to head shoot them in that little spot.
Yep.
Right. All that small game, cool.
The jelly marker.
We start talking about big game, right? Like it could put a black mark on the air gun industry, right? By all these people advocating this, and now wounded animals are freaking stumbling around neighborhoods and stuff, So that's my jack wagon.
That's a good one.
That's a good one. I don't see much of that. Then again, I don't spend too much time in the comments on in a lot of places. So, but it's a good point you bring up there. And I think a lot of people do not understand the capabilities of the big bore guns well, or they've seen somebody take what I would consider to be a marginal caliber or gun for a given use. I see a lot of people do this with 30 caliber air guns, right? If I wanted to and I was in a pinch, okay, I could take a 30 caliber PCP that shoots at 100 foot-pounds, like same as a 22 long rifle, and I know that gun, let's say inside and out, right? And I get a deer walking through my backyard, and I have to, for whatever reason, during COVID, this was the thought in my head, right? I'm stuck at home. If I can't make it to a grocery store, this is going to happen, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, I want a gun. I know I'm going to sight it in where I know it's going to be, right? And I could just pop it, dome it down right there, right? But that's very situational. And I don't like to think I'm a shitty shooter. So that's very different than the situation you're talking about. And I think that's an important thing.
There's a difference. You have a plethora of awards that say you can shoot.
That's fair. Yeah, I do. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying you can't do it. I mean, you absolutely can. Right. And,
right.
But have
just
that.
Don't put it out there.
Your audience,
It shouldn't be your main focus of shooting that as the head. Yeah.
For fuck's sake, stop using fucking fruit as a damn metric for killing animals. It does not transfer, right? Like, come
Where
on.
are you seeing this stuff, man? You gotta send me some of this stuff because I'm just looking in the wrong place.
Like since I got into air gunning, it just shows up on my thing, and I don't put comments in there because every once in a while, if I really start doing that, I could get into a trolley mood, and it's gonna be on like Donkey Kong for like 2 days. I'm just gonna fuck with people, So I just like bypass it, but I'm like, that's dumb.
Yeah, there's someone in the north that keeps telling everybody about fruit.
I see what you did there.
Yeah. I guess watermelons are less expensive than buying a side of beef or something.
I mean, it gives an immediate response, with the boom. But guess what else gives you an immediate response? Firebird targets.
Damn straight.
Absolutely.
Here is one right here. What happened to my share screen? I hate this thing. Share screen.
Yeah.
Is that coming up? That's
Loading watermelons with.
So I'm not gonna name any names, but if you're watching this video, I don't think they're advocating shooting animals in the head, but
no, they were destroying watermelons with Firebird.
I don't have a problem with using fruit as your target if that's what you want to do. I think it's more saying that it's a good facsimile for an animal is probably the
right.
issue.
Like it's not. That's a no go.
Yeah.
Animals are much different.
5 minutes in, they're not shooting watermelons.
No, lifesavers.
I hate YouTube channels that advertise something in the title, but they don't come through with it.
We know him.
You know that person?
Yes, we do.
Yes, we do.
This person right here?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, I'm not playing this video. All right, let's move on. Let's get the finale here of our jack wagons. Ton Jones, ladies and gentlemen, has some fire.
Well, okay.
You got a list.
Oh, yeah, got a list.
So we've covered shitty air gun hunters that hunt with small calibers. Check. Asshole holiday walkers. Tyler covered that are usually searching Amazon while shopping. Covered that. Okay. So we'll start down here. I'll cover the quick and easy ones. My wife took the kids to Dino Quest, the little pop-up dino exhibits.
Never heard of it.
Not missing anything. Yeah, you're not missing anything. My wife took the kids to Dino Quest. It's a pop-up dinosaur exhibit. $130 to go to this place. They threw a bunch of pop-up dinosaurs in a parking garage. Got a sandbox from Walmart and threw a bunch of fossils in there. Charged the kids extra to dig for fossils, like $25. They found a fossil. They're all, congratulations. She grabs it out of Levi's hand, chucks it back in the sandbox, steps on it, and says, okay, next.
Dang.
Is this Dino Quest?
Yeah. That they did the one in Fort Worth. They were there for less than 45 minutes and left. So disappointed. How bad does it have to be to where a 5 and a 7-year-old are disappointed with dinosaurs?
That's
what kind of bad. That bad.
And how much did it cost?
$130 just to get in the door.
Holy shit. That's a racket.
Yeah.
Weird.
Wow.
And Levi, you guys have met Levi, the little one, my youngest, was so disappointed. He said, this sucks. Cooper was a little more politically correct. He's all, yeah, I'm disappointed. This is horrible. He's like, can we go somewhere else? And they left. They were like, okay, we're out. Big jackwagon there. They suck. Don't go. Don't waste your time.
Dino Quest, don't do it. Jackwagon.
Dino Quest, horrible.
Save your money.
Another quick one. Christmas panhandlers. They watch you go into the store. You're going to get stuff. They come out, and for the love of God, do you have any change? And they try to block you. And I started telling them, yes, I do. And they like reach out for something. I said, do you have change? And they look at me offended. I said, I'll take your change too. I'm like, dude.
Now, are you talking about like beggars that just want the money for themselves, or like these charitable organizations that are there and say, hey, would you like to donate your extra change to
it's not like we went over that before, how all the stores want you to donate so they can get the tax write-off and claim they donated.
Stores, but then on top of the stores, then you got the people outside also.
Like, dude, I want to literally take that bell from Salvation Army and shove it up their ass. Dude, I donate to them no matter what. I will donate even if you quit ringing the fucking bell. We get it. You don't have to ring it fucking louder when I'm walking by. Dude, let it go.
Most of this stuff is on the internet nowadays, and people can go and donate online and do it that way.
You go into any store, and now they got so much crap. You walk out of the store, and they have this plethora of crap stacked up outside. Hi, you walk by them going in, and they're like, oh, they're going to come out, and they're going to have change. People pay with credit cards now. And they try to block you. Do you want to buy something? Would you want to donate? Dude, I would have stopped if I wanted to do it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be averting my field of view from you. There's a reason why I'm not looking at you. I'm doing.
Do you want to know why people are shopping more and more online? Because of jackwagons like you. Quit. If someone wants something, they're going to stop and give you money. Don't make it any more awkward.
I'm bring up a great point because most people are paying with credit cards or some sort of electronic payment nowadays. And
have you seen the homeless people with freaking their Venmo codes on like their cardboard plaques?
I've not seen
anything for food. Venmo me. Blah 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 blah. Right? Yeah. You're like, dude, what? This is where we're at right now.
You got Venmo? Yeah. It's to the point now. Don't make it awkward, or I'm going to make it really awkward.
Right.
Then
moving down your list.
Yeah. Then the Christmas gender neutral creepy ass commercials. It's getting weirder. It's getting worse. Holiday commercials are getting just everything.
Give me an example.
Turn on a commercial. Any of them.
All I see are pharmaceutical commercials, which is another.
Dude,
that's all.
All Christmas commercials.
Yeah. Oh, there's Men Are Weak and Sissies. There's a new, for skincare, people breaking out with some skin rash. They showed these little girls arm wrestling guys, and they're beating them, and she's jumping up and down. Look, I beat all the kids in my class arm wrestling, but it's a skin rash cream. It makes you stronger. I'm like, what? Yeah. And then, dude, if I have to watch another Honey Love commercial about bras with underwires no longer poking and some chick with a horrible accent and a crescent moon face, dude.
Well, it's their target audience. That's who's watching
the
shows, supposedly. You know what I hate, and I think I've talked about this when when you're talking about the gender thing, are the movies nowadays where every freaking hero main character has to be a strong female.
A strong female of ethnic origin.
Or what? It just has to be a strong female. Every one of them. It's like, I don't want to watch this. Yeah. I'm not going to watch this.
Every bad guy is a white guy that's bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if I see a poster, their little thing for it, and it's the main thing on there is the female. Not that I got anything against females, because the Linus, that TV show. Have y'all watched the Linus? That's a great TV show.
I had to move off the TV because that was right after a Honey Love commercial.
Watch the Linus. If you've got the opportunity to watch the Linus, it's a Taylor Sheridan produced deal, and I kind of like that guy. I mean, I don't know much about him, but he seems to be not into the woke kind of shit. But
I've been watching that show Landman that he put out.
I haven't seen that one yet. Is that him too?
Yeah, I believe that's him with that.
I think he's making all the TV shows now.
Yeah.
The Yellowstone, the Tulsa King. He's got the mayor of whatever it's called. All good
All right.
show.
I got 2 left.
All right.
Since we already covered the crappy holiday walkers, Christmas cars.
Cars? Oh, people who decorate their cars?
For the love of Christ, dude, let it go. We got it.
What is going on in Texas?
Antlers,
No,
I don't see
lights.
this shit.
dude, I've been to multiple states in the last couple weeks.
Yep.
Why do you need to illuminate your car with every freaking color light, wreaths, horns, noses? We get it. You think your Prius is a fucking reindeer. Let it go. And if you're going to decorate your car, at least attach the shit so it's not falling off on the motorway. Dude, going down the road, Christmas lights sparking and dragging behind the car, and I was dying laughing because they were running over their lights, and I make fun of it because it was a Prius. They were running over the lights that were strung on the car, and I'm watching it unravel off the car.
You know what my favorite one is? Is the elf where he's hanging out of the trunk.
Yeah.
I love that one because they closed the trunk on the elf.
And I think it's a certain type of unique individual because I saw one of those Tesla trucks.
Oh, God.
And
I see it all over the place now.
I was pulling my truck into the car wash and I had to stop. I was laughing so hard because I was going to take a picture, but I was laughing so hard because they had all the Christmas decorations and they pulled into the car wash to get their car washed.
And it died?
Dude. I end up having to back up because all you see is all the reindeer horns and the big wreath that was on the front of their Tesla truck and all the lights that were on the back go in there and you just see everything.
Dude, why didn't you film that?
I was laughing so hard and stuff started flying back at my truck. I backed up over that speed ramp and out of the car wash. And all of a sudden, everybody comes running out from the car wash trying to figure out what's going on. And this thing just dies. Because evidently they had it plugged into their Tesla truck and it's dead in the middle of the car wash while it's still running. And I'm like,
I was going to ask it. You think that saps the battery life faster?
Oh, yeah. I was like, dude, I'm like, okay, dude, it's Christmas. We get it. You're in the spirit. Just don't be a dipshit. Not even a jackwagon. You've gone beyond jackwagon. Don't be a dipshit.
Yeah, that goes to a whole nother level, man. Like kind of
yeah.
Don't go to the car wash with all that shit on your car. I mean, like, come on.
And then my final and the top tier jackwagon of the year. This is of the year.
Drum roll.
These healthcare workers that are taking care of the elderly this time of year. Quit scamming the elderly. I mean, 4 or 5 times in the last month, I've had personal friends that have had to fire healthcare workers that are taking care of their elderly parents that are getting stories where the in-home healthcare worker is trying to scam the elderly out of money during the holiday season.
Giving them sob stories like they need money and
their car broke down during the holidays, or they need presents for this, or they asked me to write them a $30,000 check to get them out of debt for the holiday season. Stuff like that.
They should be shot.
2 of them have gone to jail.
They should be used as the watermelon targets.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, the healthcare system, we got it. I get it. We understand you cut welfare and this is the only job you can get is in the healthcare industry. The government paid for you to go to school and it was either medical billing or healthcare. We got it. You're low rent and this is as smart as you can do. Do not scam the elderly. Don't
scam anybody.
How
about that?
They're preying on people that have spent their whole life working and they're trying to enjoy what's left of their life. And a lot of them are mentally not all there and they are nice people and they want to help people. So they're going to believe these stories. But people, it seems like a lot of these healthcare people have got into this business just to go take care of the elderly.
You hear about that. I mean, that's been going on for years. But
Yeah. And well, until recently, I haven't had friends that had parents that needed this kind of help. So I didn't get to see it firsthand till like just recently. And I'm like, holy shit, this happens a lot. And they're like, yeah, we're burning through healthcare workers nonstop where they're double dosing my parents and they're getting them drugged up. And we went back and we realized that, hey, we're 6 hours away and we finally did a surprise visit only to find out that their bank account's been drained and our parents are sitting there in their own filth, drooling on themselves while the house has been gutted.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. You know what? Those healthcare workers are all pieces of shit.
jack wagons.
I
They
am
deserve
sure.
to be targets.
And I told you I wouldn't do this a lot on the show, but fuck
Uh-oh.
all them. Fuck them.
I agree. That's a good jack wagon. All right, that's a great list. Now, heroes, and I'm going to start us off. And Coop is my hero this episode for introducing me to the term Reuben and DRT. Dead right there.
Thanks, man.
That is now in my vocabulary. I'm going to use that daily.
Yeah, man.
Reuben, the
My
Reuben hunters, rural urban.
Yeah, not rural, not urban. My I can't even take credit for that. My geology, or I don't even know, teacher my freshman year of high school, he said that, freaking Bob Hall. And he was like, yeah, Reuben. We're like, what? He's not rural, not urban. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to use that.
He's a genius.
I'd not heard that before either. That's a good one.
Yeah, my favorite kind of hunting.
There you go. Tyler, you got a hero?
Skip me. Give me a minute. I got to think about this.
Coop, who's your hero?
Man, I would probably have to say the dude we hunted with out in Colorado week before last, Casey Hayes and his family. He hit me up randomly after seeing part of the Urban Valor episode and said he wanted to have us out there, a bunch of veterans, for a pronghorn doe hunt. And so I brought 3 other veterans out, and we all those guys shot pronghorn doe. I got one as well. And then we shot a ton of coyotes, and I shot a swift fox and a badger. Shot a badger. That was super cool. Never shot one of those. Swift fox was super cool. But it was a great time, and he put it all on for us. And then I harassed the son Wyatt, who's he stayed home from school that week. He's in 7th grade, so he really got lifelong lessons that week. Old Wyatt did. So, but that'd be my hero, would be Casey. So,
Casey, what's Casey's last name?
Hayes, Casey Hayes.
Casey Hayes. Welcome to Lead Force One.
Yeah.
What's up, girl? She can't hear us, can she? Can she hear us?
Hi, how you doing?
How are the chickens?
How are the chickens?
Still alive.
Still alive. What about the giant ones? How big have the giant chickens
They're
gotten?
big.
Yeah.
Getting to about 3 feet.
Do you let them in the house?
Soon.
Soon. Did you see Ton? I mean, cold weather's coming, Ton. You got to let them in the house, keep them warm. Come on.
No.
Let them snuggle into bed with you. Oh, y'all cut that out. PDA. Bye.
This is turning into a different kind of video all of a sudden.
All of a sudden.
The PDA. Ton, who's your hero?
Well, she was
Besides
going to
your
be
wife.
my hero. That was my wife for putting up with my crap this year. But now that she's bringing chicken in the house, she might go off the hero list. Thanks, guys.
Who agrees Ton married way out of his league?
Oh. Yeah, my wife for putting up with my awesome mellow personality throughout this whole year.
Mm-hmm.
She is definitely my hero. She's been putting up with me, and if you guys have met my boys, they are a spitting image of me with my personality and my ability to tell the truth on a drop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She is absolutely amazing. I couldn't ask for a better wife, and she's never allowed to go to the eye doctor because she'll see what she's married. So she's not.
Tell us how the big 84-pound roast went over.
Oh my God. The 21.89 pound brisket.
Close.
Yeah.
I was close.
It was a 16-hour cook.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it turned out really, really well. I cooked it for her and her Slovakian friends to go to a party. Cooper wasn't feeling well, so I stayed back, and Cooper and I watched movies, 3 movies, while they went to a Christmas party with Levi. But it turned out that is a picture of the brisket once it was seasoned.
Yeah, so you made some posts on your social media.
Yeah, it was
Ken Jones Instagram page.
it was a little ridiculous. I wasn't expecting. I wouldn't bought a big brisket. It yeah,
Yes.
it was
That's a
massive.
big ass brisket.
That's
Yeah.
sizable.
That's
It-
nice. Nice. And that fed what, 3 Slovakians? Is it
Yeah,
yeah,
4 Slovakian families.
families? Yeah, 4 families. Yeah.
Yeah, it was 18 people.
wow.
Yeah, it went really well, and I think they came. I did trim a little bit back, and Cooper and I have had brisket quesadillas and tacos.
Nice. I mean, that's something that you don't mind leftovers and eating for a week
No.
or two.
Right.
Kinda
No, it was even the
'cause you do
dogs,
so much with that brisket.
dude. Even the dogs, as I was trimming some, I was feeding the dogs raw meat, and they're like, so
He's just
it
trying to
was-
get.
I was like, oh crap. But yeah, my wife is definitely my hero, and I got to throw in Larry Barton. You know Larry.
I know Larry.
Tyler
I know
knows Larry.
Oh.
That's where that axis behind Tyler came from.
Okay.
Larry called me about a week ago and wants to get together with the Reason Outdoors, and he's going to donate a hunt to a veteran with a child of special needs.
Oh, cool.
And he's going to get a hunt together for that, and he's going to take care of it
Awesome.
all and invite him out to the ranch to go hunting with the Reason
That'll be
Outdoors
That's
and
awesome.
Firebird targets. And
That'd be sweet.
he did have a request for Tyler, and I mean this in the best possible way, and this is me just translating a phone call. When the fuck is Tyler coming back out to play? That was just the message.
There you go. I
Understood.
tell you are going to use air guns for this hunt.
Well, I have my hunting rifle, and we're probably going to use air rifles and long range rifles because Larry's place is not easy to hunt.
Well, air rifles can be long range.
Oh yes, air rifles can be long range, and
Doesn't someone on this podcast have a world record or something like that? With
there's someone, some guy around here.
yeah,
Yeah, but that thing didn't have enough energy at the point of impact at that range.
Yeah, any of us could have literally caught it. At that.
Yeah.
so for our new listeners, Tyne, tell them about your world record air gun shot.
I dragged Tyler out on an extremely long road trip where I tormented him for a few days on this beautiful drive through Texas nothingness.
Yeah,
Where I pointed out to Tyler on a 13-hour road trip across Texas where we never left Texas, all the grass. Hey, Tyler, look, there's still grass. And we drove to the Whittington Center in New Mexico where I did a 2,058 yard shot with the Texan 308.
2,058 yards.
Yes,
Heck yeah.
308 is amazing. Air gun.
air gun. And
No.
Tyler did all the math because, I don't math.
Don't
well.
remember any of it, but yes.
Because Tyler can do that kind of stuff. Tyler, what's your hero?
I am actually going to go with somebody who's made somebody else's life much, I don't want to say better, happier. for the last year, and that's Ton's boss, Dan Meeker. You know, Dan's a good dude, and was nice enough to have myself and our videographer out to their place earlier this year, and we had a great time. But just for making,
did you get to do some aerial shots with the helicopter?
We didn't. Well, I mean, I took videos on my phone, but you know, I was kind of nauseous half the time. At least on the flight out, the flight back. Once I got a drink or two in me, I was okay. But you know, before we hit dinner,
man's an excellent pilot. Come on now.
Oh no, it was great. You know what? Everything was fine until we were going to the what's that place called that we went to dinner?
That was the Rough Creek Lodge.
Okay. So we get to this property, and it's like a couple hundred acres from the looks of it, or maybe 1,000, I don't know. But he gets real low and starts doing these maneuvers as we're coming in, and I was like,
mapping the earth.
Yeah, but up until that point, and then going back, all good.
Imagine if I was piloting it when you did that. Ton. I got to do that when we were coming in. My visit there. He actually gave me the stick. So.
That would have made me shit a brick. Fun. So I don't need that kind of responsibility.
Actually got kudos. He was like surprised. He's like, damn, dude, you actually handled that well. I was expecting you to overcompensate. And so ain't my first rodeo. Come on.
It was sketchy.
But yeah, I'm going to go with Dan because he's made
that's a good
hero. A bunch happier in the last 12 months, I think.
Yeah.
And also making some kick-ass products. So
thank you. Yeah, Dan's definitely made my life a lot happier. Been doing really good this year.
I know a lot of the lead heads are going to agree with that, and Ton and Dan both with the Firebird targets that you guys have given away as prizes on the show this year. We greatly appreciate that. And the discount code that you offer our lead heads, TL15, you want to go get some Firebird targets. We greatly appreciate that.
Hi, Dwight Settle with Seal One. We've had some questions about our different products. So our CLP Plus comes in a paste, a liquid, an aerosol, pre-saturated bore patches, and cloths. Now they all do the same thing, just different methods of delivery. Our product is you're putting it on, you're wiping it off. It's designed to work best when it has all been removed from the surface. We're safe on all metals, plastics, composites, rubber, wood, leather. It works on them all.
Seal One is a proud sponsor of the Talking Lead podcast and the Leadhead Brigade. Use the code Leadhead for a 25% off discount.
All right, let's do this for the show wrap up. Let's put my Texan, Air Force Airguns Texan together. So
And to prove you wrong, I even sent you the link on how to put it together.
Okay. Maybe I didn't look
it's
that
really
hard.
simple.
Maybe I didn't look that hard on purpose.
Oh,
really
I know.
simple.
All right. Let me know how the camera angle and everything's looking here. Because I'm going to have my back, guys. I'm sure the audio is probably
It's delightful as you.
jacked up too. All right, is that coming through? See everything here?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay. So this is everything all scattered out. It's a mess. It came with a nice little book too. I don't know what publication this is, but
That's Field Ethos from Donald Trump Jr.
that's his publication.
Yes.
Donald Trump Jr. has a publication called Field Ethos. I did not know that.
Yes, that is them.
So there you go, guys. Cool book, cool magazine. Came with it. So this is the Air Force Texan air gun. This is the 457, right?
Correct.
Got some projectiles here.
Did you take the pistol grip off?
I changed it.
There's one on there. I could see it. Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I put a carbon fiber pistol grip. This is the one that came on it. And
Standard A2 grip.
Yeah, standard A2 grip. I got mean arms. I've been waiting to put this on something, so I just went ahead and switched it out. Standard, like an AR there. So
fancy,
baby, fancy. I want to get as fancy as your guns are, Coop.
I got.
All right, so let's start.
I got an Ergo grip on mine, so
There
I'll
is
probably start this out with mission first, but all right, go ahead.
there's a set screw right below your left hand. Go back.
Mm-hmm.
Back.
Grab the action.
Yeah.
The action. The barreled action. Yep.
Okay, right above your index finger on your right. Whoop, there you go. There you're touching stuff. Right above your index finger on your left hand, your right hand. Sorry, your right hand.
Yep.
There's going to be a set screw. Up, up, up.
This thing.
Keep going. Just
Up.
keep going. Keep going. Keep there.
Yeah,
Should be right
down.
about there.
Okay.
In that little threaded piece.
There's going to be a set screw inside where your finger's at. Rotate it to the other side.
Let me put my glasses on.
Oh, for the love of God.
Shit.
Oh, for Pete's sake.
Here, I'm gonna go this angle here. All right.
There we go.
All right.
Now, flip the gun. Yeah, and right in there, if you look at the left-hand side of the gun, there's a set screw where the bottle goes in. See
Okay,
that?
down. Yeah.
Loosen
Yes.
that set screw.
Okay. And I assume they sent tools for this.
They're inside the tool packs.
Okay.
Right.
Here's a
in there.
tool pack. Doesn't say what this is for.
We're gonna tell you. Don't worry.
Just gonna open it up.
We got you covered, boo.
You want the Allen
Small
key,
one.
the GPS.
That one's too big.
Yeah.
And don't lose those.
Okay. Well, I got my set here too. So
Yeah. So when you drop it, you don't have to bend over and get it.
I just ripped this open. Hell with it. All right, that looks too big too. Those look to be the same size.
Is there one smaller?
No, they look to be
So
the same.
there's another pack somewhere that you've probably already opened and moved.
Yeah. Where's the spin lock wrench?
Yeah.
I bet that's what this is. Air
There
Force
you
Air Spin Lock Wrench.
Inside that
Oh,
pack.
this they labeled this one.
Yes. Allen key, spin lock. That's the one you need. So you've opened up the one for the bipod also.
Okay. Which it's the same size. Okay, there's all kinds of tools in here. All right,
There
so
we go. Spin lock wrench. And now get the Allen keys out of there. There's a big and small.
All right, here's a big, here's a small.
Grab the
Take
small
the
one.
small one.
This is the small one. So I'm going to go in here.
And just loosen. Nope, from the outside.
Okay.
Loosen it.
Yeah. Don't take it all the way out.
Okay, how far loosen?
Just so you can't feel it on the inside.
Okay. So I did that.
Okay, now open the action.
That's moving. So this is the actions. This is what
Yeah,
we're talking about.
open. Yes. Now that spin lock should push forward. That
On the other side of the where you unscrewed the Allen bolt there. Yep.
There you go.
Perfect.
Okay.
Okay. Now stand again. Point the barrel up to the roof. Leave
I
that
take
in there. Leave that. Nope. Leave that in there.
Okay, so I'm doing that.
Slide the tank into the back of the gun.
This is the tank.
That is the tank.
It's also the buttstock.
Correct.
So I'm going to put this
There.
like that.
Correct. Now, with your opposable thumb and fingers.
That's what separates us from the animals.
Yeah.
What am I doing?
Down. Screw it down on.
There. Okay. Is that what that other wrench tool's
Yes.
for? And I
But
lighten that up.
you can get it all the way down on there. You don't need it yet. Dap, put it down.
All right.
Use your digits. Use your digits.
So much encouragement.
Fat finger. How do you do this, Tony? You're big,
Because I'm skilled.
mauled up.
Because you're using too much force. You could just gently caress it back and forth.
I don't know. I don't
He
know
uses
that.
his tongue.
Yeah.
There we go. All
You
right.
know you can grip it on either side of the top of the rifle and do it the same way.
No, I don't. That's why you're showing me this.
Yes. You're not looking at me.
Well, because I got the thing.
Put it
Tongue saying caress is terrifying.
As far as I can get it with my digit.
Yeah.
Oh, what the hell was that?
Oh, That was
He
my
has a message.
That's my phone ringtone. That way, when I'm coyote hunting, somebody calls me, it doesn't booger up the coyotes.
That's a good call.
Now what do I do?
Now, go ahead and take the spin lock wrench.
He's
Slide
already
it on
doing
there.
it.
Where's it go?
You see how there's teeth on the wrench, and then that corresponds with the
But I can't
cap
get it
there.
because of the thingy.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Now I got it.
Snug. You don't have to wrench it down tight. Just snug.
Okay, but I got to keep it lined up too.
Correct.
Is there a thing that gets you exactly lined up, or do I just have to eyeball
Your
it? Make sure?
eyeballs.
Okay.
Just you don't need to wrench it super tight. Just get it on there tight.
Okay, I think that's probably
Okay. Now tighten that set screw on the other side.
okay. Let me make sure it's lined up. And the set screw, here's the thing for that.
Yep. That's gonna keep that collar in place.
How tight do I do this?
About 30 inch-pounds, but
Do you recommend Loctite on this?
no.
Okay.
No.
Okay.
There you go. That's all you need.
Okay.
Okay. Now I want to teach you how to decock the gun.
Okay. So let me kind of bring it down now.
Bring it down.
Okay.
Now put a little bit of force on the cocking handle.
Up or down?
Pull back towards you just a little bit.
Okay.
Too much. Now push inside the trigger guard is a reverse safety. Push that forward.
This thing?
Yes. While applying a little bit of pressure to the charging handle. And you'll feel it decock. You'll feel it go just a little bit. Push forward on the safety. Okay. Now while holding the charging handle, you got to get a grip of it. Grip a hold of it.
Do I still got to hold my finger on the safety?
No.
Okay. So fingers off safety.
Now grab a hold of the charging handle with your hand and squeeze the trigger, not allowing it now squeeze the trigger. But do not let the charging handle flop back.
Yeah, hang on a second. Lefty, you're going to want to so if when you're going to have to push the safety forward again because it recocked itself. But when you do this, the charging handle is going to want to come back towards you. So you want to keep it from coming back towards you with force. Just keep some tension on it.
Tension on what?
The charging handle.
Charging handle. So you're going to basically just hold it in place.
You're relieving spring tension.
Yeah, you're going to need more maybe than those two fingers. It's going to want to jump back on you.
It's going to want to close.
Yeah, that's better.
Yeah.
Pull
now
the trigger.
Pull the trigger.
Trigger.
Pull the trigger. There you go.
There you go.
Now it's decocked.
Now it's decocked.
Okay. Now grab your bipod.
Bipod here. And talk about this bipod. Tell us what
that is. A carbon fiber bipod. We're going to tell you how to put it on correctly.
Okay.
And the way it's set is the way it's going to go on the gun.
And this is like a Picatinny?
It's a dovetail.
Dovetail. Okay. Dovetail.
Now, see the top dovetail of the gun?
This part here?
That is a dovetail.
Okay.
Take that bipod and slide it from the top of the barrel.
So I'm not using these?
No, you're not using that right now.
Okay. All right. So
take that and yes, put it over the front of the barrel and slide it right there. Slide it back just a little bit. I like mine right about there. Now tighten it up with the Allen wrench.
On this side?
Yes.
And that would be the one provided.
Correct.
And there's like 3 or 4.
There's 4.
thingamabobs here.
It'll hold. You can set it on the table.
It won't come off.
No.
It's kind of wobbly.
Yeah,
All right.
it'll tighten up.
All right. There's 2. And on these, Loctite, no Loctite?
No Loctite.
Okay. And just like finger tight?
Yeah, the same, about 35 inch-pounds. Gets it nice and tight.
Okay. Is that all of them? Yeah, there's only 2. Okay.
2 on-
Yeah, there's 2.
Okay.
All right, got them?
Now you take those 2 dovetail to Picatinny mounts.
These things?
Correct. And slide them on the top rail. Turn them around. Yep.
Okay.
Slide one and then the other.
There's 1. And they're like Richter set.
Now you can add your Picatinny scope rings and tighten those up.
These.
Correct.
Tighten up my pick rails. Is what you're saying.
Yes.
And there's several. And I guess once I get my optic on here, I can adjust
Yeah.
placement, but we'll just go ahead and get it on here for right now. I don't think that's the right one.
I think I see it on the table.
Where? Oh, up here?
Yep.
Over here. That,
There you go. And same, about 35 inch-pounds.
okay. Okay. It's not holding it.
Yeah, you got to give it a little bit of love. Those veal fingers, haven't seen wrenches in a while.
Shit. I got it cranked.
Yeah, you got to do all 4 of them, not just one. It's a solid piece mount.
But the 3 of them should be holding it in place right now.
They're threaded on both sides. Come on, get those muscles. You think going to the gym would do you some good.
Okay, let's just say I got it. Because that's not tightening for some reason. I don't know.
You got to tighten them all up uniformly, uniformative, whatever that word is. And they tighten down together.
Yeah, well, this is something we'll have to discuss off air, I guess, because it ain't doing it. It's not supposed to slide, right?
No.
Correct. It's not supposed to move. It takes a little bit of doing, though.
Okay. All right. So
because they're machined out of a solid piece of aluminum.
We'll say that they're tied down right now. So
yeah.
For sake of the show here, let's keep moving. So is it done?
Then it's done. Then all you got to do is air it up and go to work.
And now I'm done. So I don't have a compressor. So if I were going to air this up, I have to take this off?
No, there's a refill nipple to the right-hand side, that little plastic nipple cover right there.
You got it.
Okay.
Yep. And that's why there's a gauge on the other side.
So that just pops off.
Yep. Quick disconnect.
When you got your compressor.
On the first fill, you're going to have to open that charging handle and pull the valve forward to let it fill.
We're going to have to open that? Open this?
Yes.
Okay. Got it. And then the gauge is on this side. So what's the recommended fill? Full all the way?
That one's an aluminum tank, 3,000 PSI.
So I get 3,000 PSI and I can get approximately how many shots out of one of these tanks?
You're going to get 4 shots. By the 4th one, you're going to be dropping. Well, by the third shot, you're going to be dropping, but you want to refill after 4.
Okay. Now, what other accessories are available for this? I don't have a muffler. What are you calling it?
Moderator, yeah.
This one does not have a moderator. Is
You
there a
can-
moderator I could put on this one? Or
Yes.
threaded barrel.
You can get a moderator for that.
Okay. Are there brakes or anything like that they make for air guns?
Anybody
It's not
making
really
a
necessary. I'm sure somebody makes one, but
okay, not really a need for that.
no.
No.
Okay. And this is a nice bipod too.
Yeah. And then to collapse it, you push the button and rotate it up.
To do what?
To rotate it up out of the way, you
Oh,
just push
the
button.
my button.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a button there. Does it
And-
go either direction?
Yep. And having the bipod on top of the gun allows it to hang like a pendulum to let gravity hold the gun in place.
Okay.
So you're not balancing it on top of something, you're letting the gun hang.
And this is adjustable on the legs too.
Correct.
I go higher or lower on that too. Very nice. Very nice. So there you go. Thank you guys. I got it together now. Any other accessories that other than an optic that I would want to put on this? Is there any sort of like grip enhancements or anything like that would be beneficial?
I would just scope it and go.
Yeah.
Scope it and go. Okay. Now, do you put anything other than scopes on here? Do you put any lights or range finders, anything like that, or you just have that all to the side?
That only if you're shooting night vision, the night vision scope rings have the IR light mounts.
Okay.
But you don't for what
nothing else you want to mount on the barrel?
You could take those same rails and you can get more of them and mount flashlights for nighttime hog hunting. You can mount all kinds of crap on there. IR lasers. That's one of the beauties of the Texan is having the full length dovetail mount where you can put Picatinny rails all over it.
Right.
It's a simplistic design that's very functional.
Now, what are some care instructions for this?
Do not lube it. It is a dry lube on that gun. Do not use any kind of lubricant or you'll screw it up.
And where does the dry, you don't put anything on here at all?
No.
Nothing.
No. That silver that you're looking at in front of the charging handle is a moly coat. It's a dry film lubricant. If you want to screw that gun up, go put lubricant all over it. That thing is made to be rugged and tough. Do not put oils and lubes on that gun.
Okay, that's a good tip. Not needed. As far as doing the charging handle right now, is that going to jack anything up?
Nope. Just don't dry fire it.
That's a good tip.
Yeah, don't dry fire it.
Don't dry fire. So again, the procedure for this is push
and
keep
hold
a
it
hold
the
of
other
that
way,
charge.
other direction.
Hold what?
Hold the charging handle. You want to put pressure on the charging handle from coming back too fast.
Yeah.
So I want it to be towards the trigger.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to move that way. You kind of want to just hold it in where it's at until you take that tension off of it.
Like that.
Okay.
Yep.
And then pull the trigger.
Correct.
And then boom, just like that, it releases.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
Got it. Got the feel of it now. What about other like padding or anything like that to go?
No, it doesn't come with a tampon.
So you can loosen those to adjust the angle of it if you want, or adjust it in and out a little bit. There is a company called Saber Tactical that makes a little butt pad extension. If you prefer something a bit more form fit, but that one will work just fine.
I've shot yours before, Ton, right? And I mean, there's not a lot of recoil or anything like that anyway. I mean, it is loud. This one's going to be loud.
It's just like a push into your shoulder, like less than a muzzle loader. Like It just pushes you a little
It's a
bit.
20 gauge shotgun.
Yeah, less maybe. Yeah.
Very good. So there we go. And then this is the 457.
Yeah.
This is the
350 grain hollow points.
350 grain. I'm trying to get one out here.
Hey, I know those rounds.
How do you know these rounds, Stan?
I designed them.
So talk about your design on these rounds. What makes it special?
350 grain hollow point, hollow base, 457. It's a complete transfer of energy into the animal. Great hunting round.
So when you're looking for ammo, what is it that you're looking for? Are there target rounds that I would want to shoot, or
you can get target rounds. What you want on what I prefer on a Tyler's like,
fine. Look, those rounds are going to work very well in that gun.
Yeah.
The whole thing with air guns, irrespective of what you're looking to do with them, figure out what shoots most accurately in your gun and run with that, because that's the most important thing. If you can hit what you need to hit at a given distance with a given round, like expansion is not a big thing in the airgun world. So accuracy is paramount. Go with what shoots best.
Right. And I guess what I'm thinking, if I'm just out plinking, I'm just out having a good time. Because how much do these cost? I'm sure they're not cheap.
Like $40 a box, I think, somewhere in that ballpark.
Is there a cheaper option if I'm just out one day just plinking? And
so you could go with like a round ball or something, which you can buy in bulk, but the problem is it's going to have a completely different point of impact. Everything changes. So,
but again, I'm just out plinking. I'm out fucking around, having a good time. I'm not sighting it in to go on a hunt or anything like that.
Sure.
I'm just trying to cost. I'm trying to cost.
I
understand what you're saying. It really shouldn't be a concern, is what I'm saying.
So there's not price wise. There's not a big difference in using these or using.
Not
really.
No, you shoot what's accurate and what you're going to use, because you change grain weight, you change style of projectile, and you're changing performance and accuracy. Yeah. So every time you change grain weight and change style of projectile, you're changing your performance and accuracy.
I hit a 368, I think it was, yard target at RMAC with that ammo. And I think I put was that one that was up on the hill ton, like 600?
That was 620.
Yeah, I dialed my scope all the way up and held two more reticle lengths above that and hit that sucker. Or maybe that was the one I was just below. I couldn't get that one in my two shots or whatever. But that ammo, I don't think you're gonna be plinking lefty more. It's more like chunking, because that's the noise the gun makes when you shoot it. Like, and you're like, oh yeah. And when that thing hits steel, you know it.
Another cubism for us to add to our list. Chunking. Now, I'm going to need to air this thing up, and this is a 3,000 PSI tank, you said. So what is going to be, I'm just,
Yeah, so you can, a compressor's going to be the best choice for you. Probably like the Rove Air compressor would be a good place to start. It's about $500. And pretty reliable little unit. It's portable as well, so if you're out in the field with it, you can hook it up to your car battery while the car's running. And it was just up there on your right, or on the right side of the page there. Yeah, there. Yep, that's the one.
Air Venturi Rove Air, $499, 4,500 portable. So it'll go up to 4,500 PSI.
Correct, but it's adjustable, so it shuts off wherever you set it. So very easy to do. It'll fill that tank in probably about 10 minutes from empty. So when you're just topping it up, every 4 shots or 5 shots, it's only going to take a couple minutes.
Yeah. So you've got refurbed ones available on your website. It'll save you, looks like about $60 or so.
Then when you want to get into the bad boys, go back one page.
Okay. And then once you start getting into this, because you're going to get, it's like crack.
Yeah,
I was going to hope that you're going to refer him that bicycle pump there and have him send us a video of him pumping up his gun with the bicycle pump right there.
Dude,
you know what I mean?
If he's willing to do it for the gram, we could send him one.
Right? Pump, lefty, pump.
It'll go 4,500 psi. So
yes.
We are not. I just want to say this up front. We are not responsible for any coronary or heart-related issues that you may incur as a result of using that.
You
blow
might
an O-ring out of your ass.
That's what I was about to say. You're about to blow a different O-ring.
Yes.
But
I'll tell you what, you send me one of those and an electric one, and I'll do a video with the pump.
All right. I think we can make that happen.
I'm going to put my tank top on, get oiled up.
Love it. Can't
no
wait.
good can come from this. My favorite, though, go back one page.
Okay. Okay. There we go.
And
one
go
page.
down.
Down.
Down, down. There it is.
That's a hoss right there.
Krypton.
That's what I have.
Okay. So the Krypton, I mean, this definitely, you got the coin. This is the way to go. This is a 4,500 PSI. It's $1,600. So what am I getting out of this that I'm not getting out of the other one?
So the in addition to being named by Ton Jones, the Krypton is made to fill larger tanks. So if you were using tanks as your portable fill source, like a carbon bottle that firefighters carry around, similar to that, you would want to get the Krypton to be able to fill those tanks. The Rovair, as an example, is made to fill guns directly. So anything that's going to take 10, 12 minutes in that ballpark, that's where those smaller portable compressors really shine. If you're going with filling a separate fill source, this is the compressor you need. It can do the guns as well, but it's made for the big tanks.
And how long does it take to fill this tank right here with that $500 model?
So from empty, it'll take 10 to 12 minutes, give or take. A normal fill, probably 3 to 4.
Okay. Is that the same thing using this Krypton? Takes the same amount?
The Krypton will fill that in a couple minutes, probably from empty, maybe 2 to 3.
Okay. And are there larger tanks for this?
Not for there's a carbon bottle for the gun that you could go with that fills to a higher pressure. It'll also net you a little more power as well, but the aluminum bottle is just a just fine place to start. And honestly, the lower fill pressure is easier on the compressors or the hand pumps. Like if you wanted to, Ton, maybe you should get him a carbon bottle to fill so you can do the comparison from going from 200 bar to 250 bar.
Oh yeah,
then I'll definitely put an O-ring.
We might have to do this.
Where are they on the side here? Air tanks and reserves?
Probably. We got a whole section for parts though, which that might fall into.
Yeah.
Click on Air Force on the left there, under brand. Yeah. There you go.
There it is.
Cool.
457 carbon fiber.
TX valve. So what's the PSI on this one?
3625. Oh God. I think about blew an O-ring thinking about it.
I'm sweating thinking about it.
This is the last 600 PSI is a motherfucker.
So is there a difference in the 457 and the 50?
Caliber.
Valve's slightly different. Yeah,
the valve's different.
Okay, it's got a different valve right there.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. So we would go with the 457, and I'm going to get 3,625 PSI, 250 bar operating pressure out of that. What are you pulling up?
Your blown O-ring?
I was just like, somebody done it. Is there a video of somebody blowing one?
Dude, I've had to hand pump these bastards. It hurts.
So it probably wouldn't hurt to have that like just on hand as a spare.
There's no.
Because of the way that you change the tank, it's overkill in my opinion to have a spare bottle, but you could do it if you wanted to.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying was have a pump in case you're.
Oh, sure. As like
Or is there a better viable backup than
having a small carbon bottle with you would be better. We make these little. I have a big one.
That's what she said.
So like this is a larger. This doesn't have a valve in it, but this would be like a larger carbon bottle. This one's expired, but this thing you would fill the 4,500 PSI, and I think you'd get probably somewhere in the realm of 40-ish fills of the gun off of this tank.
Okay. Does that come with tubes and everything that you need?
Yes, it would come fully set up with a valve and a hose, everything. Yep.
Okay. Nice. Very good. What else, as you know, I'm a new guy getting into this, what else might I need for my setup here?
Just trigger time.
Yep.
Honestly, it's mounting the scope and then making sure that you understand, the distances you're going to be shooting, and then what your hold over or hold under, depending on how you set it up, what your holds are at various distances that you might be hunting. So if you sight the gun in for, let's say 50 yards, you got to know where it's going to be hitting at 25 if you get a close encounter, and then you probably want to stretch
your
it out.
Regular hunting rifle. I mean, it's the same.
Yeah, pretty much the same idea. It's just not as flat.
As far as kit, gear, accessories, that's what I'm talking about. What am I going to need? What is there anything else I'm going to need? So
scope, rings.
We talked about scope.
You're good to go.
You're good to go.
Bipod. We've got an extra tank. We've got the compressor to fill the tanks.
You're good.
You are good to go.
Yeah.
Nothing other care maintenance wise, because this doesn't need lube. I don't need lube. What about for the fitting here with the tank and no lube or anything needed for that?
No.
Extra rings, anything like that? O-rings.
You're only going to need that stuff if you encounter a problem, which, to be honest, you shouldn't, unless
Well, I mean,
maybe
just like with your rifle, your field kit. I want to have extra parts if my gun goes down or whatever. So
I hear you. So if the gun leaks, there's only a handful of places the gun could leak from, right? Or that tank could leak from. It may be something as simple as just tightening down one of those fittings, right? If you need a new O-ring or something like that, it's not something you're going to want to change in the field. And I say that because out in the field, if you're changing a little O-ring, you got dust, debris, and all this other crap that when you go to try and put the gun back together, it's going to probably have problems anyway from introducing all of those outside things. So, I guess in terms of field maintenance ready, while there's not a lot that can go wrong with that gun in particular, it's not something you'd want to deal with in the field.
Yeah.
Okay. And as far as, again, storage and safety, because you've got compressed air here, what are your safety recommendations for storing, traveling with, transporting, that kind of stuff?
For storage, you keep air in the gun always. It'll keep the system pressurized and keep everything, dust and debris out. When you're traveling, if you're going by airplane anyway, you got to empty it. If you're traveling by car, you just throw it in the back of the car like anything else.
Don't travel or store it loaded.
That too.
Obviously, yeah.
Basic, yeah.
That's the biggest
or cocked for that matter.
Yeah.
You got to degas some things before flying, because otherwise I'd have brought all of my air rifles to Colorado and we would have whacked some prairie dogs too.
What about
shoot, ladies and gentlemen?
I can leave this hooked in. I don't have to worry about a certain amount of time.
It should hold air forever.
Okay. And your little gauge here that you have on the side, how often do those go out? How often do you have to replace those?
Pretty much never. Unless you drop the thing and break it, but
that's me.
So not really an attrition rate on these. They last pretty well, the life of the gun, pretty much.
Yep.
I think I replaced the one on mine, and it was on there after 8 years, but that's because I've dropped it and beat it up in the truck quite often.
Life of the tanks. These tanks are
stamped on there. I think it's 12. What's the years on?
12. It's got a date 12/23. I don't know. Is that the when it was made?
Correct.
Yeah, that's the manufacturer date.
Okay, so it's got a manufacturer date. I don't see unless it's further down here somewhere. I see a MO825 ACC.
That's a serial number.
What does he look for, Tom?
The expiration date on the tanks.
No. That's only carbon bottles.
Yeah.
The aluminum bottles don't expire.
Yeah. Carbons have hydro dates.
Correct.
Okay.
You don't have to worry about that for the aluminum stuff.
Gotcha. Well, I think I'm set now. So I just got
good to go, man.
Got to get a compressor and any recommendation on optics, what we should put on
It depends on if you're
normal
daytime hunting, nighttime hunting, 100
Sure.
yard.
But here's my question. Let me finish. Is there a specific air gun optic, or I can use any optic? I can use the same one I use on my AR-10.
Yep.
All I recommend is a reticle that you're comfortable with and that gives you enough holding points, usually on the downside or hold over, to be able to stretch things out.
Okay. Very cool. I don't think I have any more questions, but our listeners may. So if you've listened to this episode and you still have questions lingering, email me, talkinglet@gmail.com, and I'll get with one of our airgun experts here and see if we can't get an answer. Or they could go to your website, Tyler, I think, and there's a place there where they could get in touch with you guys directly.
We have online chat help, or you can call us pretty much anytime.
And there's pretty much every answer to every question on pyramidair.com.
That's true.
There's every answer to everything there.
So you go to this resources tab again. You go to Pyramid Air, and it's PYRAMYDAIR is how you spell pyramid.
Yep.
And they've got some videos. There's a blog, product finder, buying guides, the hunting map, which is gold. That's awesome that you guys have that.
Yeah, it's awesome.
I send more people to that website every week than you can even imagine.
There is a care and maintenance section also. So if you have questions about that, because there are different air guns.
Correct.
Are there air guns that would require lubrication?
More consistent, yeah. Like spring piston and gas piston guns, CO2 guns as well. They have their own kinds of lubrication that you need to do to them with some regularity just to keep things in top shape. But for the most part, most of these things are simple enough where if you just throw them in the corner, as long as you're not leaving them outside or, in a dusty room or something like that, you're not really going to have any problems.
Okay. And you got a glossary, you got a terms page that tells you what everything means. I think you need to add Reuben and a DRT to this list. Those definitely need to be added.
Heck yeah.
But yeah, so any final thoughts that you guys want to leave the audience on air guns? Let's start with Coop.
Oh, I mean, air guns are like any other gun. A air gun moderator combo. It likes certain ammo. Without the moderator, it might shoot completely different than with the moderator, depending on what ammo you have. So you gotta experiment a little bit, depending on what gun you have, obviously, and how you tune it. Some guns need to be tuned to the ammo you're using. And if there are some very, very, very complicated air guns out there, and then there are some that are very simple and work. And then buy American. Buy American. That's my thing.
Yeah, when available, buy American.
Buy American.
Calibers on these things, they run the gamut, right? As far as the calibers on air guns nowadays.
Yep. Yeah. 177 all the way up through 50. Actually, there's stuff that's out there that's bigger than that, but
I mean, it's
bigger
just
than 50?
82.
Yeah, there's a couple odd guns that are like 72 caliber or 62 caliber.
Holy schmack!
Yeah,
I mean it's a whole new world. It's a whole new rabbit hole to go down in your.
Welcome to Thunderdome.
What's great about Pyramid Air is they have several different brands and types and models that you guys can go and check out. And if you've got questions about why this one over this one or vice versa, you can get in touch with them and they'll be happy to go over product specifics for you and custom fit one for you.
Here's the even funner thing to do to the listeners.
Funner.
More fun.
More fun. Go to Pyramid, and not only can you check out their air guns, but you can get your firearm ammo there too. You can get your outdoor equipment, your hunting equipment. You can get everything there.
Archery stuff.
Firearm ammo.
Firearm ammo.
So you can get center fire and rim fire ammo there.
Correct.
Oh, sure, yeah. All sorts of fun stuff.
Look at that. Look at you guys stepping up.
We do all the things. And also, for now anyway, if you buy 3, you get the 4th one free on firearms ammo too. So
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay. How much? What's the cheapest you got? 5.56 case.
I don't
1,000.
know.
Yeah.
I have no. You'd have to look. I really don't know.
Yeah.
But yes, you could buy 4 cases and one of them will be free.
So you're doing like 22 all the way up to you selling
Yeah.
50 cal.
I don't know if we have any 50 stuff. We might have a
338
few.
Lapua.
What is that, like 50 AE, the pistol rounds? We might have a few of those. Yeah, but I don't think we have
9
50.
mil, 45 mil, all the pistol caliber.
We got all the fun stuff, all the
380.
common stuff, I should say.
Okay, very nice. And you're doing outdoor gear too. Is that what you said, Ton?
Yeah, they got outdoor gear. They have just about
Outdoor
everything. You can get cutting edge bullets from them. You can get Voodoo Tactical from them. You can get
Knives.
You
We
can
do
get
sell
hunting
some.
blinds. You can get e-bikes. You can get coolers.
Ton's better
You
at
can
this
get-
than I am.
You
You're
can get
one
steel
stop.
targets. You can get just about anything and everything from them.
Pyramid Air is your one-stop shop for all your firearms and air rifle needs
Outdoor needs.
and
Yeah.
outdoor needs.
Action sports.
It's the
Foam dart.
It is literally the Amazon for the 2A community.
Look, they even got foam dart guns, not to be confused with Nerf guns.
Oh, yeah. Levi's got me in the butt with a few of those. Yeah. Make my quesadilla faster, Dad. Whap. Damn it.
That's awesome. That'd be a great Christmas gift. So if you're looking for a Christmas gift for your kids, those little foam dart guns would be awesome. So. Well, very good, guys. Thank you so much. And Tyler, did we ever get a discount code set up with you guys?
I thought we did.
I don't have it written down.
Hang on.
Actually, I think there is.
Stand by. Yeah, I thought we did.
Pyramid. We may have.
Making me actually do work.
I think
don't
we
know.
talked about it, but we didn't.
Wait, I think I have it in my emails.
We didn't get it set up. Maybe. So stand by, listeners, because we're going to get you a discount code here for Pyramid Air.
Yeah, we do. TL10. TL10.
There it is.
Yeah, I even text you that.
TL10 Pyramid Air. Is that work on sale items too?
Should it says on the screen if something doesn't apply to coupons or coupons can't be applied to it. So there's certain brands.
Fill
like
your card.
there's certain American made brands that don't let you discount their stuff. So that, but I get it. I get it.
I see what you did there. You rep.
Oh, shit.
And to be fair, there's plenty of brands that don't let you discount their stuff.
Yeah.
So it's not just
Buy American. That's the one where you got to go add it to the cart to see the price, kind of deal. Yeah.
Oh yeah. We don't do that.
You
We
don't
try
do
and
that
be
either?
as transparent as we can
Yeah.
with that stuff. Yeah.
It'll say coupons not applied.
Correct.
Yeah.
But even if you're gonna buy a scope, you're gonna buy, all the other stuff. So most of the accessories can be discounted.
Okay. And you're doing the scope mounts too? You have those?
Of course, yeah.
Of course. Of course. you do.
Vortex, like we
Are you
just
doing
put
pistol
them
red
on.
dots?
I'm sorry,
Yes,
say
they
again?
do.
You
Pistol
sell
red dots.
pistol red dots?
Yeah, we sell some. Not a huge selection right now. It's growing all the time. But yeah, we've
I
got.
just had a guy from Gideon Optics on. I don't know if you're familiar
Yeah.
with.
I am trying to get Gideon on with them as we speak.
See, more work for me to do. Thanks, Ton.
You're welcome.
You're a pal.
All right. Ton, you got any parting words for the Lidheads?
Air guns are an absolutely amazing thing. And know what? Every time you think 300 blackout subsonic, drop the pronouns and get an air gun instead.
Okay. And we'll leave it with Tyler. Tyler.
Hey, give air guns a try. They're a lot of fun. There's really not anything that you can't do with them. There's an air gun for everything, just like there's a firearm for everything. So
There's even
give
bolts.
them a try.
You can shoot arrows with them nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. You will have probably more fun with air guns, and you'll learn a lot than just about anything else out there. Hunt ethically, do all the things, get outdoors, have fun. That's all I got.
Use the code TL10, get 10% off Pyramid Air. Your purchase there, guys. Go and do it today. Do it now. Go to the Reason Outdoors, and there's a donation box there. Get involved with their auctions that they do, their fundraisers. The SIG one, we talked about that a few episodes back, so hopefully some of you lead heads got involved with that. I bought my tickets. I did the package deal where you could buy, what was it, 5 or something like that? And,
Yeah, get 6 1 free. Yeah.
Yeah, I get the 6 1 free. So I did that. So, cross my fingers. I might win a shirt. I hope I get one of those shirts.
We'll see.
I love
a couple hours.
Ecotherapy shirt. Would be awesome. Use the code TL15 at Firebird Targets. You get 15% off in your purchases at Firebird Targets. They got the new signal markers. Definitely check those out. I've been telling people about those, man. They're just like, no way.
And we're going to go ahead and run. I just confirmed it right now that we're going to go ahead and extend our holiday sale through the new year. So if you buy any 3 Firebird Targets, we're going to throw in a customer appreciation pack all the way till midnight on New Year's Eve.
New Year's Eve?
Yep. And that just got confirmed 11 seconds ago.
Nice. There you go. You heard it first here, because this is the show for exclusives. SHOT Show coming up. You said, Tyler, can you give us a hint on the newness that we might be seeing in the airgun world for next year? Give us a teaser as to what
you want me to handle it? I can handle it really nice. Yeah. You want to know what's new? Show up at SHOT Show. How do you like them apples?
Hey, and if you can't get in, just keep an eye on social media. There you go.
There you go. I'm sure we'll do an episode after to let everybody know what the newness stuff is. So
yeah, we're not like the rest of the companies that release our crap in November and expect to come see it again in January.
Right. What's the point?
It's a little rough.
New.
But subscribe the podcast. If you're not subscribed, you're listening to us, whatever you're listening to us on, subscribe there. And then Rumble is where the videos are. Go to Rumble. It's Talking Lead, all one word is how you find us. And subscribe there, watch our videos, comment, and then follow all our guests, all our sponsors. Mission First Tactical, Leadhead is the code, 20% off anything at Mission First Tactical. Seal One is Leadhead, 25% off any products at Seal One, but you don't need it on the air guns, but you're going to need it for all your other pews. It works on bow and arrows, it works on engine motors, it works on everything. Slide Fire, I don't think they reactivated that code yet, but it's Leadhead, and you get 15% off. You can try it. They may have reactivated it. They're running some smoking deals for Black Friday. Where's the other one? Lockdown is Leadhead, get 15% off. X-Tech Tactical is AK Corner 10, get 10% off any of their magazines there at X-Tech Tactical. Again, our thoughts and prayers are with James Balchak, his family. Go and show them some support. It's Factory 47, FAKTORY 47, and that's where we have our AK Corner themed T-shirts, hoodies, mugs. I think you can still order them there. Again, I don't know the status since he's passed away. If that's the orders are still getting fulfilled there. But Mon Tactical and then Freedom Stencils, you can go there and support his family by buying the products from them. But that does it for this episode, ladies and gentlemen. Hope you learned a lot. I learned a lot. Thank you guys for assisting in my putting this together. At least I got through that portion of it. Now the field test remains, and hopefully I won't break anything during the field test, but I'm going to do that under supervision also. So
you're going to come down here and we're going to blow some shit up.
That's right. I'm going to come down to Texas, and Ton is going to show me how not to break this thing. So, Tyler,
if I haven't broke mine, you won't break yours. Trust me.
You don't know me very well, so I'm notorious for breaking shit. But again, Tyler, thank you. Thanks to Pyramid Air, Coop. Thank you. Appreciate everything that you're doing with the Reason Outdoors. And Ton, tell Dan, Firebird Targets, you guys are awesome. Thanks for the support. And Leadheads, until the next episode, as always, keep your loved ones close.
And your firearms closer.
And your air guns closer.
She said she gave me like that thing.